No, I just pull up and go. I'm like, oh my god. Because sometimes I dip my ass in the toilet. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, I was like, oh baby, what is you doing?
Have you seen the feature about some heroes don't wear capes thing with the Iowa man?
Yeah. I see that.
He just wanted the dude to take a preliminary vote and fuck himself.
I remember one day this girl was she had a skirt on, and I was looking at her. I saw this little white string. I was like, what is that? I'm like, nah, nigga. Nah. She has the decency to at least wear panties, does she? And I fucking just walk by, I fucking lean over real quick and look up. No panties. I was like, ugh. And there's this fucking blood dripping when she's walking. I'm like, bruh. And she's like, oh, time for a new one. Reaches down, pulls it, whips it across the lunchroom, sticks a new one in. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, what the fuck? You at least throw it in the garbage can.
Yeah, I already know. I got to go work at the track tomorrow.
I'd rather work at a track than Wendy's. It's actually not that bad though.
So look into the Fortnite. Okay, never mind. Bill told me if you
Yeah,
want
when
to
he
or
says
not.
he's getting off, he just gets off.
Oh please, let's fill us with more stories. Heck, we should have like a weekly story stream.
Here, I'm gonna. Oh man, that chicken wrap from Wendy's is blasting through me at hyperspeed.
Hey, Frank, you should give me free food from Wendy's.
Motherfucker, I still have to pay. Just because I work there.
Yeah, but you
The
know,
only
you should
time
do a
I
good
get free
thing.
food is if I go in on an off day and work, or I stay over my shift. That's the only time I get free food. Or if a manager's nice enough to
Dang it.
give you. Like if someone makes a mistake on a burger or a sandwich, sometimes we don't throw it away, and sometimes they let us eat it.
I heard you purposely mess up burgers.
Sometimes, but they're starting to catch on.
I almost got on top of Mason.
This one customer's like, someone peed on the floor in the bathroom. I said, oh, okay. They're like, don't you care? I'm like,
Clean it
I'll
up.
tell. I said, I'll tell my manager, but I don't get paid enough to care. I told my manager, and she's like, "Get them off." I said, "Why do I gotta do it?" They're like, "'Cause you're the only one that can stomach that kind of thing." I said, "Fair enough."
Understandable, good day.
Like, there's no job too gross for me.
You should take Mike Rowe's place on dirty jobs.
I'd have worse jobs for him to do. I've had to help a cow give birth, and sometimes the cow, baby calf, likes to turn around. It's supposed to come out head first. Sometimes it likes to come out ass first. You have to reach inside the cow's vagina and turn it around.
That's very attractive, actually.
And sometimes when they give birth, they shit everywhere. Even people do that sometimes when you're giving birth. Like your mom could possibly shit or something, like, you know. Because most of the time they tell them, "How do I push?" "Oh, it's like a bowel movement. Just push like you're taking a poop." And then some people end up shitting themselves.
I want to see you give a birth to a child. How that would go.
You giving birth? Nah, I'm good. I'm a guy.
It's
I've
yours.
I've seen babies born. I mean,
Robot, it's yours.
I'm good.
It's a boy.
I'd rather you can put it back. That ain't mine. I like that one meme with that dog where their newborn son and it's black. You see the dog looking at the husband. You need to start asking some questions, Tim. It's actually possible for two white people to have a baby and it comes with black. It's just like a 0.01% chance.
Or you could have that skin disease that turns you from like black to white.
Yeah. Or white to black. It goes both ways. I am Father, Uncle, Reverend Ruckus. No relation. We must use things that strike fear into a nigga's heart. A job application, a whip, a book. If he gets nervous, he might start to rap. If he gets really nervous, he'll start dancing. A branding iron, a police baton, a whip.
I know.
Read, nigga, read. I fucking love Ruckus.
I know what'll solve this. A beautiful white woman.
Now repeat with me. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Now removing an evil nigga spirit from a body is about as hard as removing stank from a pile of shit. I fucking love that show.
Jesus is white. Turns out black. Ain't that a bitch?
Mary, you need to start asking some questions. Jesus was actually Middle Eastern.
What if Jesus is a woman?
No. That's when I become... Yeah, I'm just kidding. I mean, he could be. I don't know.
How many times
that would actually kind of make more sense. Like, you know, the baby, we're all his children.
One at a fucking time. Micgelo.
No, it actually kind of makes sense, because we're like all their children, in a way. I know it still would be children with like the father, but it kind of seems a bit make more sense when you're the motherly love.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And
Frank.
What?
How many times did Jesus have to perform the acts to be considered sin, for him to consider them sins?
What do you mean?
Sex before marriage? Gay?
What about it?
How many times did Jesus have to do those before he can consider them sins?
Him personally, Jesus never sinned.
Before, like, how many times did he have to do them before they became sins, though?
Like me or you?
Oh my. How many times did Jesus have to perform the acts before he considered them sins?
I do not know. Considering his father made the Ten Commandments, and the Bible was written by his disciples, it's hard to know. The Ten Commandments were given to Noah by God on the top of the mountain. Didn't write the Bible. Jesus' disciples wrote the Bible.
And God is
revised it for the New Testament. They even say if you commit one sin, you commit them all. So, let's say you use the Lord's name in vain. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Technically, you just committed all the sins.
No, that's hot.
You committed murder, adultery, and so on. And
Apparently I'm gay now. That's a sin, right?
technically, if you were to... let me rephrase this. If you break one commandment, you break them all. The 10 Commandments. One of them is, thou shalt not use the Lord's name in vain. If you use the Lord's name in vain, technically speaking, you broke all the other 9 commandments.
Well, that's nice.
Meaning, not one sin is greater than the other. They're all equal. So if you break one, technically you break them all. You know what I'm saying? And technically, in the Bible, in Leviticus 18:32, it does say homosexuality is a sin. If one man lays up another man, or a woman lays up another woman, or if you fuck your cousin, or if you fuck your mother, if you fuck your father, basically no incest shit over here. No fucking a dude if you're a dude, or a girl if you're a girl, it's technically a sin. Hell. That's technically basically what it says.
We should fuck each other's mothers, fucking each other's mouths, pushing your legs when you came out as a baby.
I believe it says, thou shalt not lay with his father's mother, because that would bring shame upon the father. Like, it's... I've read the Bible, it's just really... It's really in depth. Like I said, Jesus and God didn't write the Bible. The disciples of Jesus did. So they could have added anything they wanted, but technically Jesus, through his lessons in his life, that's how they wrote it. That's how they interpreted the Bible, from his lessons and what he taught them. But in all of his teachings, Jesus didn't hold anything against anyone. Did you ever hear of the murderer he took to heaven? There was a murderer to the left of him, and a murderer to the right, and he was crucified. The murderer to the left asked for forgiveness. The murderer to the right didn't believe it. And when he went to heaven, he took the murderer on the left with him, and the right one went to hell. There was actually a mention of that in Uncharted 4. With the cross you find. So basically, as long as you... That's pretty much the only... Like people say, oh, if anyone asks for forgiveness, you're accepted into heaven. There's not just a pass go, don't go to jail. It's not like Monopoly. Jesus, basically, and God will know if you actually fucking mean if you're sorry. You just can't be like, I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior on deathbed, and boom, you're in heaven. You have to mean it. Supposedly. It's just not a get out of jail free card.
I mean, I asked that question as a joke, but Jesus Christ. Sorry.
I honestly don't care, because we all sin. Technically, having bad thoughts is a sin. If you think bad thoughts upon someone else, like, say you're thinking right now, I wish something bad would just happen to Micgelo. That's technically a sin. Swearing is a sin. Eating too much is a sin. Gluttony.
Gluttony.
Yeah. Sleeping too much, technically, is a sin.
Oh God.
Yes, technically it's a sin. Laziness. It's a sin. Going to church on Sunday does not make you a good person. That's one thing I hate about Christians. They think just to go to church, they think that they're perfect, and you know, they do no wrong. They think they're better. There's some Christians like that. I don't go to church every Sunday because I'm busy. I have a life, and I know God will probably understand that. I'm sorry that I don't pray 5 times a day like those little Muslims do. That's how they do it, and I'm not going to make fun of their religion. I mean, you know, that's just what they believe in. That would be intolerant to me if I didn't. I mean, yeah, it's different from what I do, but I'm not going to judge them. Just like Judaism, Hanukkah, I don't care. It's just what they believe. You're welcome to believe whatever you want in this world, because in the end, we're all going to die. It doesn't matter. I'd like to go off of the Old Testament, not the New Testament. He liked to mention a lot, like, if Matt here were to go tell his mom to go fuck herself, just for him swearing and disrespecting his mother, in the Bible times, you would be taken to the middle of town and stoned to death by the townspeople, just for doing that. And he says, you don't see people doing that today. And I like to say, well, no fucking shit. That's what they did back then. I'm not gonna drag my child to the middle of town and have him stoned to death. I might smack him across the fucking face. That's about it.
What do you mean doesn't sound like...
Throwing rocks at them till they die.
Oh, God.
Yes. And Shabisky acts like, oh, if you're gonna do this in the Bible, then you should do that. Are you fucking retarded? Like, point blank. Are you? So if you're reading the directions on how to cook ramen noodles and it says stick your head in the boiling water, are you gonna fucking do it? Like, there are some people that are so fucking blind followers of everything. They like to find an easy way out, like, oh, you can't pick and choose. Well, I agree to a point, but I'm not gonna go off of the Old Testament. I mean, I know Shabisky has his fucked up eyes and he stutters a lot, but for real. Go off of the New Testament. The only people that actually follow the Old Testament would probably be the Catholics. They actually still read and worship it. The New Testament is followed by many religions. The Old Testament is just looked upon as a reminder. I mean, yeah, they read into it, because there's still some good things. It's basically, the New Testament basically a revised version of the Old Testament. And he has to, and Shabisky, I could not explain it to him because he's just so fucking slow. It was written during Bible times. Before Christ, BC. It was written literally after Jesus died. And he came back. And then, you know, he left. It was written by his disciples thousands of fucking years ago in different times. Not everything is going to be pertainable to today's life. I'm not going to go and slit a goat's throat and sacrifice him to a fucking god. I'm not going to hang a chicken by its fucking neck and let it bleed out just because I think it's going to make the grass grow taller.
Jesus Christ, what religion believes in that garbage?
A lot of religions. Some people think...
It's a belief if you actually don't...
Some people...
Nah, you go ahead.
Yeah. It's... I mean, don't knock it. I mean, some people do that. Like, some people... You know how people would sacrifice stuff to volcanoes to prevent it from erupting? It's basically the same concept, but... I mean, I can argue that God isn't real. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that could prove that he's not real. You can't see him.
Well, he's a spirit or whatever.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm gonna compare it. I'm sure you've all seen Star Wars: The Force. Anakin didn't make fun of Obi-Wan Kenobi because he believed in the Force, something he couldn't see, touch, hear, or feel. Except he accepted it because he believed in it. What's the difference between that and religion and faith? Yeah, what is the difference between that and faith? The Force is something you can't see, touch, hear, or smell. None of your senses can touch it. What's the difference? It's all about tolerance, something Trubisky does not know. All he knows is how to get fucking high and dab during his fucking YouTube broadcast. By the way, if you do happen to see the Trubisky, yeah. By the way, your dab setup, yeah, it looks like you got it from a fucking Dollar General.
Oh yeah, I've seen his videos. All they are is just the same thing. Oh yes, let me just be a Vanoss person. I'm trying to actually put out gameplay. Oh yeah, let's not have anybody actually listen to that.
He's pretty much an old Call of Duty, revised, a little bit different here. Not too much different though.
Oh, speaking of Call of Duty,
oh no, I tried.
He's like his thing is he likes to like do the same thing. He's like, oh, if I get 10 subscribers, I'll hit my fucking dab, man. Can you remind your viewers why you, I mean, yes, you have a video that you admitted to smoking weed. Do you tell them why you smoke weed?
Because you're retarded.
To help your fucking stutter. I mean, I'm not judging you. There's tons of people that smoke weed. But you kind of do it like it's a cool thing. You shouldn't broadcast you smoking. That's fucking retarded. You don't see someone broadcasting when they're getting fucking life support or they're fucking getting dialysis. Oh, they're almost gonna broadcast me smoking. You were literally the 420 faggot. You were literally like those people that vape and fucking. Oh, yeah, bro. Look at this cloud. And you're probably that douchebag on Snapchat that constantly blows into his fucking camera to fog it up when you're smoking your fucking dab machine or you're fucking smoking a joint. Just stop. And by the way, you can't rap.
I've heard one of his raps. It was garbage.
I've listened to every one of you. You can't make a beat. You can't write lyrics.
I'm sick of this YouTube trash. I'm sick of just, let me be Vanoss. Let me pretend to be like a 5-year-old, even though I'm like 30 for like a 7-hour long and then have like it for a 5-minute video. Actually put out some gameplay and I might be able to actually respect you.
No.
Oh my god.
The only way to respect someone is from their character. How they treat people and how they act. Trubisky treats people like shit and he's a fucking smart mouth that likes to try to prove everyone wrong. Kind of like James, but not as bad.
Wait, who is that guy?
Like, I can be that guy. I can be that guy that can like just talk trash or be disrespectful.
Like, yeah, I smoke vape, but I'm not like your typical vegan. Hey, I'm vegan. Nice to meet you. Trubisky's like, hey guys, I smoke weed. Well, good for you. You're not Cheech and Chong. Sit the fuck down. I'll outsmoke you, Trubisky. You smoke medical marijuana. I smoke some heavy shit. And you said you fuck with moon rock? I've seen that video, bud. Why don't you smoke straight moon rock? I've seen you mix it in with your fucking joint. Why don't you smoke straight moon rock? Even better, why don't you smoke sun rock? I guarantee you after one hit, your eyes will be fucking straight and your stutter will stop. Because that's 90% THC. You'll be so fucking stoned you won't even know where you are.
I mean, I don't know any weed kinds, because...
Trubisky doesn't either. He just goes to his fucking grower and eats anything. He probably only knows what fucking OG Kush and fucking AK-47 is.
I don't even know what the heck that is.
I've been smoking weed before this fucker fell off his bike and developed a stutter.
Is that actually how he got the stutter?
I don't remember exactly because I don't really care about that little shit to even come to think of him. The only reason I thought of him is because me and him used to argue about religion, and it was always funny that he'd always bring that up. Point being, he said he basically fell and hit his head, and it basically caused brain damage, which makes him stutter. And it's always so funny when we argued because he'd be like, yeah, like, day, Junior. Like, fuck. I know if you, and seriously, half the time you were arguing with me, you were smoking weed and you still stuttered. I think you need to go to your fucking dealer and get some better weed, bro. I think you're smoking catnip. Like, Shabisky, he even had the audacity to look up where I live, show other people. And then he had, I believe, Plonka. The video is still up. The roast of Frank Seebeck II. It doesn't, I think it's funny. But, you know.
Oh yes, I love being unnoticed.
I mean, to be honest, I can be kind of that cocky asshole sometimes. But
no, but I don't mind if you're like that sometimes. Because we all are. But when you're like that all the time, you need your ass kicked.
But like, if I do something really bad, terrible, and like afterwards, I'll probably apologize to them.
That's the thing with Shabisky. He never apologizes for anything he does.
Like, I remember, I mean, I haven't really made up with James yet, because like we haven't really talked at all. Because we've only done like 2 parties together.
If I were to compare Shabisky to anyone, it'd probably be Vanilla Ice. Basically a wannabe Slim Shady.
I mean, Shabisky is white, so he's got that right. For the Slim Shady.
Who's that Hey It's Nick guy? Oh yeah, he said he'd help me out every time I'm in a single party. Oh wait, we're doing something right now. All your videos are just the same montage bullshit that everybody else would post. Like, could you post something different? Post like you playing something different than COD once in a while.
And the thing about Shabisky also, first.
Shabisky and like his little friend, Hey It's Nick, that said he'd help me, but every time I go into a party,
that
he
faggot.
doesn't.
Oh, and like I'm not Brian and Monkey Bone or something. Monkey Bones. But Shabisky and his little butt buddies, they're all the same. That's why they get along. They're literally the same personality. It's just hilarious. And literally half of his videos after a while were fucking roasting people. Look, trolling little kid on PlayStation.
That's like the
Trolling
only way
kid
you're.
on Call of Duty.
These are the only reason they're getting views.
The only reason he's getting views is because he's picking on like little kids and shit. And I called him out on his bullshit. And I could care less that he made videos of him. I could really care less. And when he got a YouTuber Plonka to make that video about roasting me, it was funny in that video because the kid's mom walked in on him when he made the video. I thought that was fucking priceless. Hold on, Mom, I'm making a video. Like, fuck.
I went to Shabisky's channel, and all I see is dab every 500 subs, GTA with subs. Dab every 10 subs, Friday the 13th, dab stream, and the fire room.
All I have to say about Shabisky's YouTube channel, he may have more subscribers than me, and I don't care. Shabisky, that you honestly compared your fucking YouTube to mine so many times. Because here's the thing, I never tried to be a YouTube star. I just post videos and someone watches it. Okay, someone watched it. I don't care if you have more subscribers, I don't care if you have more views. You're clickbait. That's all you are.
I'm not trying to be a million views. I'm just trying to be...
He's a wannabe rapper. He's trying to be a YouTube rapper. He's literally an autistic Fred.
They take a lot bigger than this. They take full gram dabs, more than a gram dab. You know, it's whatever.
Jesus Christ, it sounds annoying.
I've done like a quarter of a gram dab before, so...
Oh, in his what is it? In his bio, I see hashtag weed, hashtag 420, hashtag dab, hashtag marijuana.
Hashtag cancer. You don't
Reacting
have to
to my
broadcast
old
it.
beats.
You don't have to.
I can't stream anymore. No wonder you're a fucking idiot.
Maybe because you can't fucking use illicit drugs on your streams, retard. Yes, I don't think marijuana's a drug,
Please,
but other
take down his
states and
channel.
countries do. You can't broadcast you smoking a fucking crack pipe on YouTube. You can't broadcast you fucking shooting up heroin. What makes you think they're gonna let you smoke fucking pot? This isn't fucking TNZ or fucking Tosh.0. It's YouTube. It's meant for comedy, music, and other shit. It's not meant to have people... It's basically... Why would I want to watch this fucking pothead sit here and fucking play GTA, smoke a dab, roll a joint, and then fucking get stoned as shit and then fucking chow down on fucking chips? Like...
He's probably not even stoned. Top 5 weirdest YouTube channels? Oh boy. How I Lost My Virginity in the Movie Theater?
Yeah, watch it. It's quite funny. Yeah, that's from Shabisky. I remember that because he told me about it. It's fucking hilarious. It's about the only good video I laughed at.
Where's his roast of you?
He took him down. Oh, or should I say I took him down too? Because I flagged him. I told him if he didn't take him down, I'd flag him. I flagged him, and he didn't believe me. He got a message, and he told me he took him down. But so he had Plonka do it. Because YouTube has a new fucking thing about flagging.
The thing is, he doesn't realize that taking videos down doesn't remove the flag. Or like, well, I'm thinking of copyright strikes, my bad.
The only thing that I could get Plonka for, and I already reported it, was him using my face and my audio. He basically took a Twitch stream I did when I talked shit on Shabisky, I don't know, fucking sound 2 years ago, I'd say. And
hey,
Kiwi, you're ruining the moment.
What, Matthew?
About nothing talking about one autistic person.
Yeah.
Yo, Frank, what'd Matthew say?
And video, like little segments out of my Twitch video that I made and I uploaded it to YouTube. He basically took it without my permission, used my audio and my face without my consent.
That is also copyright.
It is. And he put my personal information in it, my first, last name, and my suffix. Suffix meaning the second, Frank Seebeck the second. And I'm giving Micgelo permission to use that, because I can see he's broadcasting. I could care less. But thing is, Honk is a little bitch, just like Shabisky. He's like 10 years old, and he made fun of me for my, what was it, my YouTube, what's it called, like wallpaper. It was a Confederate flag. It looks like a fucking X. Are you fucking stupid, kid?
I don't know. I don't get why people consider the Confederate flag to be racist.
That's not why he thought it was bad. He just said it looks stupid and makes me look like a redneck, like...
Okay.
Okay. Maybe because my family's from the South and that makes me a redneck?
These are the reasons why I want a PC.
I mean, you smoke weed, so you must be a fucking drug addict. I mean, this is how this works, you know? I mean, you smoke weed, you must do other drugs. You're a fucking pothead, drughead, piece of shit. The only thing you're good for is a fucking good time. You're pretty much a $20 whore.
Not even that, though. He doesn't even do it for a good time.
The only good time I could get from Shabisky is beating the fuck out of him.
Oh, yeah!
Not to say PC is master race, but these are the reasons why I'd like to switch to PC, so I don't get these trash people, and then I wind up in drama, and then half this crap always goes on YouTube, and then I'm the one to blame for it. And then next thing you know, my channel goes down with my kind of luck.
If anyone's channel should be taken down,
I mean, Frank, if he does it, you have all rights to act like... I mean, I'm not saying you should do it, but like...
If
he does it, you could do it too.
What, talk shit?
No, like, expose his personal information and stuff, which is I mean, I
No,
wouldn't
because
do
I'm
it.
not a little fucking twat like he is. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
show people where he lives. Oh yeah, Shabisky. I'm sure you might see this one day. Did you ever tell your viewers how I booted you offline? And I'm not Brian and all your little faggot friends, and I found out where you lived just with a fucking program from the internet? And I had to tell you where I live because you could figure it out. I find that hilarious.
Doesn't he live in Las? I'm sorry, I don't know. I'll just.
He lives in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say
I didn't
where.
realize that.
I mean, I have his address. I have his IP address. I could post his IP address right now.
You're not a little twat.
But I'm
By
not a
the
little
way,
bitch.
I'm not streaming this for just Sibishki, I'm just streaming this in general.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I'm giving you permission to use my name since I mentioned it. I'm not talking shit, Shabisky. I'm just telling people who you are. And let's both admit it.
I mean, I think
I
you
met you in
deserve it.
person. I wouldn't hesitate to knock you on your fucking ass. We both know I'd knock you the fuck out. That's the funny part. You think just because you're a little bit taller than me, you think you're tougher. You'd probably go to swing at me, stutter, and your fucking arm would twitch, and your eyes would start going every which way, and I'd fucking punch you in the head and fix you.
Worse than Autumn, Jesus Christ.
Like, he reminds me of the Sandy Hook kid.
What?
Sandy Hook Elementary, shot at the school. That's Shabisky.
Oh, yeah.
He really looks like him. By the way, Shabisky, what's up with your eyes? They're like really far set off. Like shit, you can fucking look one way, this way. I mean, you have like, you don't have 20/20 vision, nigga. You have 100/100 vision. Fuck.
My question is it worse than Autumn, though?
And look at a photo of him.
I mean, I can't see.
Oh, Anthony Caruso.
Who's that? Anthony
Caruso. You can find him on Facebook.
I saw this.
Like, I don't want a million subscribers, I just want enough as to where I can actually have a decent conversation with some, maybe have a few donations here and there, not just have one or two people and then just no interaction at all.
Shit. Like, take that Derv kid times 10, boom, Shabisky.
Like, if you want to see a good channel that's growing, would be Micgelo and Kyle the Pug. And Kyle the Pug has a gaming channel and a sports channel. He has less subscribers than Shabisky, and Shabisky thinks he's better than him, but Kyle's not clickbait.
Mainly, I'm streaming on my Twitch at this point so I can get my capture card ready and my PC.
I found Kyle the Pug's.
Shabisky thinks he's... I mean, I looked at the equipment that he used in his broadcasts. Like, if you go on Amazon and type in an Elgato game capture, it'll, like, frequently bought together this mic, and it was, like, something else. I seen the exact same mic, so I can tell where he fucking got his fucking Elgato. And then he gives away his old one. And he hit 5,000 subscribers. I mean, yeah, that's a good way to get more viewers and subscribers, but still. You
That's
literally
also the dirtbag
spent,
way.
you kind of spent $400 to $500 on Amazon probably. For your Elgato, that mic, and probably a soundboard, because I've heard your sounds. And it's quite hilarious. I mean, I don't have an Elgato. I stream on Twitch, and then I upload it to YouTube, or I just stream directly to fucking YouTube. And I have my YouTube settings, just keep the current video. And, you know, people can watch it later. And look, there's my PlayStation camera, you can see me, I have a mic, you can hear me perfectly. Boom, I didn't have to spend $400 fucking on this shit. The only thing that he can do is record other people's voices without their consent. So he's basically copywriting every time he does that.
I mean, the thing about
If you post, you cannot post someone's audio or a picture of them or any of their personal information for that matter without their fucking consent.
I don't think I was really paying attention to him at the time when he was trying to roast me, because he was trying to, when he just went into the party, started talking crap to me and saying that my channel was, crap, I have no subscribers. Well, at least I'm actually trying to post actual gameplay of different games. Play something different than GTA, play something with skill, and we'll see who's actually better.
I remember I bought the Proto when it came out on GTA, and he was too broke to afford it, and he used my Proto for one of his videos. You don't believe me? Go look on his channel. You'll see my character in my old Proto that I used to have before I sold it. He uses people, and just because you have less viewers than him, suddenly he's better than you. Who the fuck cares? You know what that means, Shabisky? You're not a good YouTube channel. Fred has more fucking subscribers than you. PewDiePie does too. Vanoss, Rooster Teeth. I can go on and on. That means you're not a good YouTuber, apparently, because you have less than them.
I'll respect Markiplier, but
according to him, if you have more, you're better. I hate to tell you, motherfucker, it's like toilet paper, less is more.
He'll probably come back to try to roast us if he gets into a party if he sees this. I'm not sure whether I
could really care less. If he joined, I could honestly care less. I would honestly just listen to him rant. Well, try to, without that stutter. Because when he gets mad, he stutters a lot worse. And it's very fucking hilarious.
He stutters worse than me?
What's something that pisses off Shabisky the most?
Just arguing with him in general. Just purposely say stupid shit to piss him off. He's kind of like James. He hates to be wrong.
See, one thing I like about James, though, and, like, I mean, I don't really, I think I've only talked to Shabisky, like, once or twice. The thing about James is, like, he actually shuts up, though.
Shabisky doesn't. And the funny thing is, I remember James and Shabisky got in a fight, and that shit was priceless.
Oh god.
I'd never seen Shabisky stutter so much. James proved him wrong on everything.
What's up, man? Whoa, Jeff. Whoa, you went way too far. What's up, Mobu? Boo-boo?
I know Robots is on, but is everybody else's voice shared in party, Jeff?
Mine might be. I'd have to look. Let me look. Always allow, so yes.
Everybody else?
I mean, if you don't want to post it, Micgelo, you don't have to. You can take it down.
I'm streaming it.
Yeah, but it'll save it. You can go on your Twitch account and delete it if you want to. I don't care.
I mean, okay, so like,
I'm just posting the stream.
The thing is, like, I don't really have a YouTube channel, and I don't like upload it, and I don't plan on it. But like, I have one video on it, and it's just this little.
I hope he knows people have YouTubes like mine, just to favorite videos and like them, so you can go back and watch them later.
Yeah.
Not everyone has to post stuff. This isn't fucking Snapchat, where you have to have a fucking Snapchat story go on and on. Not everyone does that. Some people prefer to watch, some people prefer to record. If I'm in the mood, I'll post a video. I don't care. No one sees it. Fuck. I've seen better Clash of Clans videos.
Like, I don't upload though, and I have like one video and it's just a little parody me and my friends made for school, because we were doing it for history. And you know, a lot of people liked it, so.
No, I've met him in a party, that's it.
But he says that he'll help you, but oh, 3 parties later trying to join. Oh, we're doing a video right now, dude. You're like, oh, excuse me? You asked me to join you. You personally asked me to join you, but you're still regretting me? Okay, fine.
And the funny thing is, everything's really, but
like, from what I'm hearing, like, Shabisky has no respect for anybody.
Except himself and his friends.
And
He's
like,
a narcissist.
That's pretty much it. He's a narcissistic sociopath. He likes to belittle people because he gets a little stiffy in his pants from people's pain and suffering. I'm sure he likes being spanked by his daddy. If his daddy's still there. Oh, did I add too much information?
But I feel like if he were to get in a relationship, oh god, I'd do that for her.
Him.
She'd either stay with him because of pity or leave him on the first day.
I don't think he could get a girl.
Yeah, that's why I said if.
And it's funny, he has this very fancy computer that he put a lot of money into, and props to him, you know? Better equipment, better broadcast, better views, whatever. How come I was able to kick him offline with a fucking laptop that I got fucking 7 years ago? Oh yeah, I know more about computers than him.
Hey, you think you can know how to override a password?
I'm not a hacker. I know how to turn off your internet though.
Oh. So I was gonna...
Hacking is really fucking illegal.
Oh, because I was gonna pay somebody to override a password to my granddad's PC. He gave it to me, but he forgot the password.
I mean, you could take it to a computer store and you can do that for you, or you could just fucking put the. Do you have the original disc that came with it?
No.
Manual boot, reinstall it.
No, I don't. It was his cousin's.
You know, it's basically a factory reset.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see if there's actually any software I might need, because I'm going
Literally,
to college.
I can factory reset my laptop right now, just the disc that came with it.
Because I'm bored, I'm gonna Twitch stream.
But Miguel, if you're afraid of drama, you can delete that stream when it's done.
We'll see how it goes. Maybe drama will actually promote the channel. No, it might even promote me.
It'll promote him more than us. Because I remember when people found out about me, they just went to all my fucking videos and disliked them and left very colorful comments.
One thing I hate about like people finding out about your YouTube, the reason I don't want to have one is because of just like, there's this kid at our school. I don't want to name him. I'll just call him Jack. He had a YouTube channel, and like, he actually tried on it, and all the kids make fun of him for it.
Trust me, Miguel. You don't want to beef with someone on YouTube that has more subscribers than you. I actually lost subscribers because of it. It wasn't many, it was like 10. I only had like, what, 20, I think. I'm not even sure. But I lost half of them because of it. If I were you, I would just delete it. But I could care less, you know. He ain't gonna say anything that he hasn't said already to me.
What's the worst you can do? Throw an insult. What's the worst you can do? Say nigger and not hack you. Not hack you. Find your information.
I'd delete it if I could, but my PC isn't working. I'm still trying to install it, and well, I could try to hook up my laptop.
You probably do it on an iPod or something.
My phone's broken. I mostly use my computer for social media.
I don't know, I'm just gonna name it GTA Bunkers and Badasses.
Do you just have it saved to your Twitch right away?
No, I'm streaming it on YouTube.
Do you have the video saved once it's end, like people can watch it later? Then you could just log into YouTube on any device and just go down to your video when you're logged in on it. Right click it basically and delete it.
Well,
Whenever I first streamed on YouTube,
I deleted some videos off of my YouTube by doing that. I did it on my Samsung.
I titled it.
Whenever I first uploaded it, sorry. Yeah.
I titled the stream Storyline because you were talking about your kind of high school past, and then it just kind of veered off into this. So it's not like they'll know it's this. They'll know it's just a straight up roast video right away.
Yeah.
Whenever I first like uploaded to YouTube, not uploaded to YouTube, like streamed to YouTube, I didn't like posted and stream on YouTube.
Well, I mean, when I
And
posted
kept
a
on
video
thinking,
of a roast, I titled it roast, and that's how Shabisky found it. No, not him specifically, but one of his friends found it and told him. Because literally, his little friends will fucking. If he has beef with you, he'll have his little minion buddies like, I'm gonna Brian view your channel on a daily basis to see if there's anything about him.
Oh yeah,
he's just so.
just sit there jacking off to it.
Yeah, they're just really self-centered, really.
I've had some crap with another community. I think you know what Discord is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in with a group called Dream to Stream. I posted, they were like some UK group of streamers. The moment I posted like one meme up there, it was like the questionnaire where it was a black guy, and it's like, which is your favorite food? It was A, fried chicken, and like a bunch of other stereotypes.
Watermelon, cornbread, and Kool-Aid. Which one of these foods is not tasty?
Yeah, they kicked me from the Discord channel, and then I made a video about how about exactly explaining what happened, because actually people from my subscribers like Dream to Stream, and I was explaining why I left. They took that as me insulting them and almost tried to sue me.
It's not insulting them whatsoever. It's just like, hey, this is what happened.
Exactly.
They got butt hurt over memes are meant to cause no harm.
Apparently they don't understand the internet. And then when I go to explain
Well,
it, half their chat is like,
well, over in Britain, they don't. It's not like America. In America, you could crack a racist joke and get away with it. In Britain, they frown upon that shit heavy.
Yeah, I thought about that as soon as they started explaining it to me. I know stuff runs in different countries, but I didn't think, oh, one meme could just start a war.
You'd be surprised anymore. I mean, I know I'm not perfect. I know Shabisky isn't either. But at least I treat people nicely. That's all I'm saying. I have manners. I'm nice to people. I don't make fun of people unless they piss me off or make fun of me first. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. I don't care if you're gay, straight, black, or whatever. But if you start making fun of me, I'm not gonna sit there and take it like a bitch. I'm gonna fight back. I'm gonna fucking insult you too, because I'm human like everyone else. If you call me an idiot, I'm gonna call you a jack off. It's just how things go. But if you're nice to me, I'm gonna be nice to you. It's simple as that. Eminem put it perfectly. I don't care if you're black, gay, lesbian, straight, whatever. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. I'm just saying, Shabisky's parents failed at raising him.
There's this one kid at my school, like, he's gay, but he's like the stereotypical gay kid. And that's what kind of makes me not like him. Like, he has the squeaky voice, like, talks like this.
You see, that doesn't bother me. Like, I knew my one friend, Krista, she's a female. I knew she was lesbian. I could tell from how she acted, but she was too shy and scared to come out of the closet. And since it was Gay Pride Month or whatever, she came out on Facebook, and she got nothing but love and support. And I don't care if you're gay. I'm Christian, and I really don't care. I don't believe they're gonna go to hell. Because, think about it. God made us all in His image. Maybe He wanted you to be gay. Who cares? If God made everyone in His image, like, God made me, God made you, God made that tree over there. Why would He put you in hell for being gay? Think about that for a minute, for real. Like, I'm not gonna care if you're gay, straight, black, Mexican. You judge a man by not his color of his skin or his preference of sexuality, or even when he identifies as or transgender. I don't give a f if I ask. You go by how they act from the actions of their heart. You go how they treat others, how they talk to others.
Those people do kind of annoy me who identify as other things. Like,
I don't care if you identify as a female and you're a male. I really don't care. If that's what makes you happy, so be it. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. No one deserves to be sad, depressed, feel scared to be who you are. Because if you're scared to be who you are, then what's the point of living? Fuck. And yes, humans are judgmental creatures. We always will be. Like, it's just who we are. Like, if you see a black person walk in with their hands in their pockets and their pants are sagging, and they're like wearing bandanas and shit, oh, you might think, oh look, it's a fucking gang member in your head, but you don't say that shit. Like, you judge people without even knowing it. Like, I mean, I do it too, I mean, but I'm not gonna come out to say it. Like, I've met people that, people always say appearance speaks a lot about you. That's true, and it's also not. I met people that were, they look like they're hobos, they were homeless. Yes, they were dirty clothes, long hair, but they were some of the nicest people I ever met. And then you have people that are in tuxedos, like lawyers, clean-cut hair, shaved face, smelled nice, but they were some of the meanest, backstabbing pricks you would ever meet.
Yeah, it seems to, like, most homeless people nice because they don't get, like, that much love. They just get thrown aside because they don't have a house. You know, they don't smell or look good at all. And they just get tossed away, put in the trash, and they don't deserve that.
Exactly. And I like the church I'm currently in. It's a Protestant church, because that's why I'm Protestant. Their motto on their sign is, come just as you are, leave a little bit different. Meaning, you can come in blue jeans and a t-shirt and sneakers. Or you can come in a suit, like, you know, dress clothes if you want. I've seen people come in wife beaters and shorts and sandals. And we don't judge you. Maybe that's all they have to wear that's clean. Maybe their water just got shut off and they can't wash their good clothes. You don't judge people by what they wear. You judge them by how they fucking act.
How their character is. They talk.
I mean, yes, it's nice to look good for a job presentation or a job interview. Yeah, long hair is kind of messy. But if I remember correctly, Jesus had long hair. John Lennon had long hair. Tons of people had long hair. Long hair don't mean shit. It just means you like long hair. I like long hair because I think I look better with long hair. That's just my personal opinion. And it keeps my fucking ass warm when it's cold. Like, when it gets close to the winter, I let my hair grow out. You know, the colder months. But after winter's over, like recently, last month I had my hair cut. Like, I only get my hair cut twice a year. Usually at the beginning and at the end. Because I'm not going to sit there, and no one judged me because of my long hair. I mean, I shouldn't say that. People said, like, oh look, he's hippie. I bet he smokes pot. And then, I'll admit I have a little mustache. It's just peach fuzz. And I got told that I look like a, how do they say it? Someone that would steal someone's child, like a pedophile. You know, a pedophile mustache. I actually felt so ashamed to have it that I went home and shaved it that very day.
People are so judgmental, and like, it's so stupid because society frowns upon like those types of mustaches that you had, and like long hair.
And like the one joke, if you what's the joke, like if your boyfriend doesn't have greasy hands, you have a girlfriend. I mean, I work on cars about every day, I'd say. My own, sometimes others. My hands aren't always greasy. Just because I don't fair fuck a car doesn't mean I'm not a man. And just because you have a guy, like my one friend, I'm not gonna say his name. He's a good guy, but I'll admit he has a Grizzly Adams beard. And if you look at him, he looks like a hipster. But he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He does not say a bad word about anybody. He doesn't know how to change a tire. And this ignorant fuck from my school commented, said, if you don't know how to change a tire, shave your beard. I said, where the hell do you think you are, buddy? This isn't Soviet Russia. I said, just because he grows a bigger beard than you and me combined doesn't mean you have the right to say that. Not everyone was taught how to change a tire. I said, me and you grew up in the countryside. I was fucking pumping gas at the age of 5 and running a tractor at the age of 7. And baling hay when I was fucking like 8 by hand. I said, he grew up in a 2-income household with his mom and dad in the city. It's not his fault he doesn't know how to change a tire. It doesn't interest him. He doesn't like cars. But he's like, but he's supposed to know how to do it because he's a car owner. I'm like, I agree with you there, but he doesn't know, and it's not his fault. Just telling him to shave his beard because he's not a man makes you a real fucking asshole.
Like, my dad for Snap-on, and I help him keep Snap-on tools and stuff. Shack about cars.
I mean, I know a lot of
it.
Exactly. I mean, I know a lot about cars, but I'll be the first to admit I don't know a lot of everything, you know? I know a lot about cars, but I don't know everything. I mean, I can help you change a tire, brakes, change your motor, replace a head gasket, but I couldn't tell you the gear ratios and the ass end of this year car or this year. I don't know everything about every single car. I only know what I have worked on and what I know. I don't go online and read fucking page after page of fucking car. I like cars, but not that fucking much. I'm a jack of all trades. I know a little bit of everything. I know a little bit about plumbing. I'm an electrician. I can install light switches in houses. I can work on a farm. I can plow a field. I can bale hay. The only thing I probably can't help you with is file your taxes. I'm not good with paperwork. That's about the only thing I'm not good with.
The thing is...
Oh.
What do you need exactly?
I was just breathing.
No problem. I'll get him off your back.
Well, the thing is, like, people expect so much of like small things. Like, if I were able to, I don't know. Expect so that I could like fix the entire change like change a little.
The only thing that makes me mad is like when 16-year-old girls get a sweet 16 and their parents buy them a brand new car. It's the wrong color. Bitch, I worked for my car. I bought my first car, sold it, bought a truck, sold it, bought a car, sold it, bought another car, sold it, bought my current truck. I've owned 5 vehicles, and I'm only 20. Wait, 93 Corolla, 92. Well, let me stop and think. I had a 93 Corolla. After that, I had a 2000 Ford Ranger. I sold it, bought a Subaru Impreza in 1997. Sold it, bought a 92 Toyota Camry. Sold it, bought my current truck. I mean, I never had something big handed to me, like a car. And when I bought my truck, my mom offered to buy it for me. And I said, I'd rather you not. I mean, I appreciate the offer, but I want to buy it. I like that bragging right. I bought it. And then you have people say, oh, your mommy and daddy probably bought you that little piece of rust. No, motherfucker, I bought it. I worked for it. I paid the gas. I fixed it. I paid a car insurance on it. That's mine. That's something I bought. I hate when people are handed stuff, but I know some people need help. If someone needs food, give them food. They need water, give them water. People need help, but I hate when people are ungrateful for what they get. Yes, you got a brand new car from your mom and dad. God forbid it's the wrong shade of red. But there's people out there that would kill to have a car, that have to ride the bus to work or have to ride their bike to work. Where I work, there are two people that ride their bikes to work and chain them to the back near the dumpsters. Some people have it better than others, and they're very ungrateful. And that just really makes me upset.
The reason I like you, cause you for every, you don't just like. Okay,
I mean,
so
yeah, when I was a teenager, yeah, my parents bought me video games and stuff like that. But once my mom got sick, her MS got worse, and her lupus and so on. She almost died a few times. I go to work, I come home. On my off days, I take care of my mom, I cut the grass. I do everything around the house, I help my dad as much as I can. I could move out if I wanted to, but I know my dad couldn't do it by himself.
like
My
you
sister's
respect.
has her own life. I love my parents and respect them enough to help them. Yes, I'll admit, I get annoyed. You probably heard me cuss. Oh goddamn dog, I fucking won't do this again, dog. Yes, it gets annoying getting up because I'm tired. My back is stiff even right now. I'm sore, my feet are thumping, but I work. And I'll admit, fuck it. My mom bought me my truck. But literally, I worked at Walmart at the time because I didn't have the money for a car. I came home and there was a truck in the driveway. I thought it was my dad's. My mom handed me the keys and said, "Happy graduation." I'll admit, I never cried so hard in my fucking life. Because I told her I wanted that truck for a long time. And after 1 month of working at Walmart, I made $10.71 an hour. I made $2,000 in 1 month because of overtime. I busted my ass. My first paycheck from Walmart was $800. It took me a month and a half to save up the money. I walked up to my mom, I handed her $2,000. That's how much she spent on the truck. She spent $1,850 for the truck and $150 for the title and plate transfer. So I handed her $2,000. She goes, "What's this for?" I said, "It's for the truck." She goes, "I don't want that money though." I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "That's a graduation present because I graduated high school." I said, "But I graduated like a year and a half ago." She goes, "Well, better late than never." She told me to keep it. I didn't know what to do because I've always bought everything big like my cars. When I was 15, I bought my first car for $600 from my neighbor. He got it for me and he held it and I made payments. Because he was nice enough to do it because he knew that my parents didn't have a lot of money. And my mom finally got her disability and she used some of her money to buy me a truck. Because she knew I needed a vehicle to get to work and to get to college if I ever went to college. And I just needed a vehicle in general. Because my dad had his and I needed one for work. And when I went to pay her back and she denied it, I insisted on her taking it. My dad didn't even want it. He goes, "You deserve something. You deserve it." To me, I honestly don't think I did. Because if I deserved it, I would have been able to buy it myself. I'm just not used to having things handed to me. Like, even getting tips at work, when they hand it to me, I'm like, "What's this for?" "Doing a good job," I said. It's not necessary. But some customers insist and I keep it. Even, because that's just a polite thing to do. I'm not gonna, if they insist, I keep it. If they take it back, I don't care. But to be handed something, it felt weird. Because I was always told, if you're handed something, it only matters as much to you as it was when it was handed to you. But if you work for something, it means so much more. But to me, my mom says I worked for the truck because when she almost died, I took care of her. I changed her catheter. I fed her. I bathed her. She said I practically worked for that truck because I literally quit my job to take care of her. I flagged traffic for Flagger Force. I directed traffic. I made $11 an hour at job sites. I had to call off a few days because my mom didn't have anyone to watch her. And I told my boss, I said, family comes first. And he fired me. I said, you know what? Fuck you, I quit. My mother's more important. So I parked my truck in the driveway and I took care of my mom. And that was even after I got my truck. Because I took care of my mom for, let's see, I'm 20 now. I took care of her since I was 16. I was still in high school and I was wiping my mother's ass. I was changing her clothes, bathing her, feeding her, doing anything for her just to make her comfortable. Because she doesn't have the luxuries that we do. She can't get up and walk like the rest of us can. I mean, she can walk, but not perfectly like we can. She can't breathe properly like we can. She can't swallow properly like we can. Her blood sugar drops real quick and she has to always take pills. She's always in constant pain. We're not. I mean, yeah, we get headaches and shit. Upset stomachs, but the fact that my mom spent her disability check on my truck for me, because I took care of her, I would not give up that truck for anything in the world. Because my mom promised me, I'll never forget, when I was 17, I said, Mom, I want a F-150 truck. She never forgot that, and her memory's bad because of her diseases. And there's one for sale near here by a private owner. It was in his yard. I said, I really like that truck, because we stopped and looked at it. And she bought it for me. That truck means more to me than anything. Like, I'll never forget. I mean, yeah, it had problems when I got it, because it was like $2,000. The engine blew up in the first month, as Jeff says. The head gasket blew, because the guy didn't put rings on it, and the head gasket was on basically wrong, and the radiator had a leak in it. The last time my car had an engine blow up, we scrapped it because it wasn't worth fixing. I literally sat in my truck crying because I was afraid my dad was going to scrap it. Like, my dad pulled up to me and saw me just bawling in my truck. I said, Dad, we need to fix this truck. He's like, okay, why though? I'm like, it's my truck. Mom bought it for me. Like, that truck means so much to me. And yeah, the frame on it is solid as hell. It's like, literally, it was a farm truck. I bought it from a farmer. The frame is solid. You know, the body's a bit rough on the what's it called, the bed. It has a little rust on the fenders. But I'll admit, my dad gave me my birthday gift and Christmas gift. He rebuilt the engine for me. It perfectly brand new rebuilt, all new parts, pistons, rebuilt the transmission. Even though the transmission was fine, you might as well do both than do one. It's better to do them together, you know? And so he had them both redone. Completely rebuilt, like it's brand new. That was my birthday present. And my truck runs perfectly now. I mean, yeah, I paid for brakes, tires, gas, but to rebuild the engine and transmission costs, what was it? $3,000. I'll admit, I'm 20 years old. At the time when it broke, I was 19. I worked at Walmart. I only had $1,200. I didn't have nowhere near enough money to fix it. I was crying, and that truck means more to me than anything. because my mother bought it.
Yeah.
And I had the money to pay it back, but she didn't take it. I'll never forget. I said, what do I do with this money? And then she goes, spend it on whatever makes you happy. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went, fixed my truck, had the new radiator put in, new front brakes, hydraulic line for the clutch, new wiper blades. I got a new reservoir. That's basically where your antifreeze and windshield wiper, the little tank that holds and goes. I put it in. I got a windshield wiper motor that sprays the liquid out of the nozzle with the hood. The only thing it needs now is the front gas tank. My truck has 2 gas tanks. The front one's a reserve tank in case the main tank gets low. It's basically either the fuel pump needs fixing or the fuel filter or an electrical switch. We don't know which because it could be anything. I put gas in it, tried it, it doesn't work, it just stalls. And the temperature gauge reads inaccurate because it's an older truck. I'll just be driving, it'll be in the middle, normal heat. Then it reads inaccurate. It'll just start going up, saying it's overheating, even though it's not, then it drops back down to normal. It's really weird. The truck doesn't overheat because people don't seem to realize these gauges are like it's mainly just a temperature gauge. It's a dummy gauge. It's literally powered by a motor, like a little motor, and a pulley system. It's hard to describe, really. And if it reads inaccurate, like mine in my truck is, let's see, it's 496, it's 21 years old. That part in there is 21 years old. And I asked my neighbor, because he's my mechanic, because I took it to him, and I'm like, is it broke? Is it overheating? I don't think it's overheating. I don't smell antifreeze. Because when your vehicle overheats, antifreeze basically gets into the head gasket, and you'll smell it burning. And trust me, you'll know it, because you will smell it, and your engine will start smoking. And he's like, no, your gauge is just wacky. I'm like, should I fix it? He goes, you don't have to. He says, you'd have to rip out the entire dashboard just to fix it. And I literally drive without even noticing. Some days it does it, some days it doesn't. I noticed it tends to do it on hotter days. When it was winter here, it didn't do it at all. I think the heat from it might have leaked some antifreeze, because it's basically like a little dipstick. It tests the temperature. I think all the heat made it condense. Like, you know, it's an old part. I think it's just, you know, it's broke. Basically, that's it. But that truck means more to me than anything because my mother bought it for me. She always promised me she'd buy me a car. Even though she's not working. As soon as she was supposed to get disability, but she didn't because she has a high education, but she can't walk or stand for more than 5 minutes. But they said she could be a teacher. I said, how could she teach? She has a memory loss. And we basically have a fight with the state for 2.5 years, and once you get it, they have to pay you for all that time you missed. So she basically got a big check, and she bought my truck, and I got the money to pay her back, and she said, just, I don't need that money. I said, what do I do with it? She goes, spend it on what makes you happy. Use it to fix up your truck. So I did.
That just makes me realize, like, I know it's like super stereotypical, but we really don't appreciate it.
Like, I'll admit,
Like,
yeah, it's not a new truck. It's a 1996. Same year I was born. It's 20 years old. It's going to be 21 next year, basically. Technically, the truck rolled off the line, but I Carfaxed it. It's funny, that truck was made in December. I was born in December. And And yeah, it's not a new truck. It's 20 years old. It's not perfect. It has a little rust on the fenders. There's a dent in the bed. It's missing a, you know how the radio has that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the, you know, on the radio. If you hit it, it changes to a random channel. It's missing a button. But I don't care, because I love that truck. It's not perfect, but I love it. Literally, if anything happened to that truck, I'd be a wreck. I'll never forget. When I bought my Ford Ranger, I loved that thing. I loved that truck so much. It wasn't 4-wheel drive. It was 2-wheel, 5-speed like this one. It was a manual 2-wheel drive. The only vehicle I ever owned that was 4-wheel drive was my Subaru. It was all-wheel drive, but same concept, kind of different. I never owned a 4-wheel drive truck. I've driven them. But even though this truck's 2-wheel drive, it's cheaper, for one. Because when it's 4-wheel drive, you gotta pay more parts, more tires, more brakes. And it's funny, you go to a dealership, I don't care if it's a used car dealership, you look at one car, it's the truck. I was looking at ones just for fun, because I like looking at cars sometimes. The truck right there, the Ford Ranger, same year as the one next to it. It was 2-wheel drive. The one next to it was 4-wheel drive. The 4-wheel drive one was twice as much. And if it's 4-wheel drive, it'll cost more on your insurance. And 4-wheel drive sucks up more gas. But this truck ain't perfect by any means. Now, let me rephrase that. It's perfect in every way for me, but it's not brand new. I don't want a brand new car. As dumb as that sounds. Yeah, who doesn't want a brand new Mustang? Not me. I want an older one. I want an older vehicle. I like older vehicles. Older vehicles will last longer. Older vehicles are actually made of metal and not fucking plastic. If you look at older vehicles, you got in a wreck in a 1960s car, you might have died, but that car lived. Like, you hit a fucking tree in an old 1960s Lincoln Town car, you're gonna break the tree. You hit one in a new town car, you're gonna break the fucking car, and the tree's gonna be fucking fine. Basically, on an older car, usually from, shit, what was it, 70s and down, might have been late 70s and down, it was a straight frame. Basically, when you hit something, frame just collapsed in on itself, meaning dangerous. You can look it up on crash tests. New cars have a crumple frame. It's like a wave in the front and the back, sort of. Like a little wave in the metal. So if you get hit, it kind of like, the frame crumples like a piece of paper, and it absorbs the shock of the wreck, so you don't get hurt. That's the only good thing about new cars. But the fact that my mom did that for me, even though it's not new, and that's all she could afford at the time for me, and she got me the exact truck that I wanted, even though it wasn't perfect at the time, I'm happy. You don't need a brand new car to be happy. You don't need a brand new PlayStation. You don't need a new game. You don't need nothing new. I've seen people that don't own shit and they're the happiest people in the world. Material possessions, they don't go with you when you die. If I die right now, my parents get all my stuff. Because I don't have a will. If my dad dies, I get his truck, I get his guns, I get the house if my mom's still alive. If she's dead, I get the house. Your possessions don't go with you when you die. You have to enjoy what you have when you're alive. Just because it's not the newest set of shoes or the newest console or the newest song or album doesn't mean nothing, you know? It doesn't have to be brand fucking new to be nice. Sometimes the older things or what you have already can be fun. Like, I know games that were made in the 70s and 60s that are more fun than games today. Like, my dad has a new Mitsubishi Outland. He leased it. It's nice. Heated seats, air conditioning, you name it. Cup holders, 3-way radio, disc cassette player, auxiliary cord player. Has all these fancy shit. Brand new engine, high performance engine. To me, all I see is a bunch of fucking pain in the ass when you go to work on it. That's the one thing mechanics hate, is working on new cars, and I'm one of them. On an old car, it's more engine. On these new cars, there's these things called sensors. Like, you'll see someone on Craigslist like, needs a new O2 sensor. Yeah, that's one. If you need an O2 sensor on a new car, you're going to be looking at about 10 of them. And you have to find out which one it is. And the machine that you hook up to it doesn't tell you which one. It just tells you it's an O2 sensor. That's why I hate working on new cars. They are literally more electronics than fucking engines. It's annoying.
Okay, Frank.
Look, if I'm ever successful, I'll remember you. I know it's like a stereotype thing, but I gotta go. I'll help. If you need any help at all, you know I'm here. I'm not really the kind of person. You're the one out of like small group of people on my friends list that actually have a brain cell in their body that will actually help and not be freaking retarded.
I fuck around on GTA. I'll fuck with you, but I'm not gonna fuck with your shit, because I know you're working for it. You help me, I help you. That's how it is. If I'm ever, I hate to say it, I really hate to say this. You know why people like us never hit the lottery? Because we would do something good with it. I even told my dad, if I hit the lottery, I'm paying off the house, I'm paying all the bills for a year, I'm paying off the car, I'm fixing all our cars completely. My restaurant that I live next to, I cut their grass every time we cut our grass. We get free food for it and free drinks. They still owe money on it, I would pay it off if I hit the lottery. My neighbor that helped me throughout the years, he bought me 2 dirt bikes because he knew my parents didn't have the money. So he bought it for me out of the kindness of his heart. I would pay off his garage and his house. I would donate to charities. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd probably go buy an old car, like an old Ford truck. Like my dream truck is a 1976 F-250 hybrid, 3-speed on the column, 4-wheel drive, big V8 motor, regular cab, 8-foot bed. But my dream car, I honestly don't know. I like the DeLorean, I like the Charger, I like the Supra. I'd have to get my dad's old car. Because when my parents bought this house, my dad didn't have enough money for his down payment. And he had a brand new truck he just bought. A 93 Silverado 4-wheel drive. He sold it. It didn't even have 100 miles on it. Because my mom always wanted a red brick house with a white picket fence, the American dream. He sold all of his guns. That he had, I wouldn't say all of them, but he sold his AK-47, a couple pistols, and 2 rifles, and 1 shotgun. And whatever rifles that you see in my photo on my Facebook, that 12 gauge and that 30-30, my dad bought that, well, my mom bought that 12 gauge for my dad. He gave it to me because he never used it. That 30-30 is a Seaback heirloom. My grandfather that I never got to meet, my dad's dad, bought it for him when he was 13. My dad gave it to me when I was 13. It's a 1970 Winchester 30-30 lever action rifle. It's valued at about $5,000, and I would never sell it. But anyway, when my parents lived in the trailer before I was born with my sister. My sister was just born, mind you. The air conditioner broke, and my sister couldn't breathe. She was starting to swell up and couldn't breathe real good because of the heat in the trailer. My dad didn't have any money. He looked out in the driveway. He saw his 1971 Dodge Duster. Muscle car V8. He says, "I'll be right back." He took his Dodge Duster up the road to Jack Russo, his boss, because he wanted to buy the car from him. He sold it for $1,000. Walked to the store, bought an air conditioner, walked home. And then at that point, they only had one car, my mom's car. And my dad sold that. Just basically, my dad gave up a lot for this family. And if I ever hit the lottery, I'd like to buy him a brand new truck of his choice and his dream muscle car. Because he gave up everything for me, my mom, and my sister.
Right. One thing is like actually multiple things that are good about you. Like you care. Okay. Like yeah, funny, joking, kind of mean sometimes. Not like you know what I mean, like kind of mean.
I usually
And,
just
like,
joke around with people.
I'm Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
I'll hook you up.
But you
I'll bring it to
deep
you.
down really care for your family, like you did for your mother, your job. You were getting a pretty good pay. You quit your job and started one of the pay. That's awesome.
Because my
You know,
dad
whenever you
had to
go,
work to pay the bills, and someone needed to take care of my mom. But now my mom has nurses come in the morning from 7 to 4 in the afternoon. But even during then, I still help. And when they leave, it's up to me and my dad still, because they can't stay here all day, obviously. But at the
And
time,
also-
we didn't have those, so I had to. I knew I had to.
okay, but also, when you said that your mom bought your car, and like how everybody's buying you the kindness of their heart, and like helping you guys, that actually makes me really that people and that there's in this world that, you know, there are people that just have materialistic Lamborghinis, but you know, people like you appreciate the small things in that it's like I don't
It's
know
like
what
people that like, I mean, I'll admit Dr. Dre beats are nice, but when I looked at the price tag, I was like, they're not worth it if they're that much. I can get the, like, I have a boombox over here that I play my music off of sometimes. I'm sure you've heard it. It
Yeah.
cost me $60. Actually, it was $50 because I got a discount when I worked at Walmart. It sounds fucking loud as hell and it's nice. And I like it. And I like my fish. I bought my fish for $2, and all of his little stuff was extra that I paid for. I like that. I remember, what was it, when I got my job at Wendy's, my dad got me a can of cashews that I have right here. It wasn't much, but I loved it. Just, my manager gave me a free sandwich today, just for the heck of it, and I was happy, like, because most people have to buy for that shit. Like, people are like, oh, you don't have a new Michael Kors, whatever the fuck it is, purse, or a Gucci belt. Like, that Gucci shit pisses me off. Like, look at Bill Gates. That's a perfect example. He has a $10 shirt and a $12 pair of pants from Walmart. And he's the richest man in America. Like, materialistic items don't mean fuck. I mean, yeah, I like cars. I mean, cars are expensive, I'll admit, but if you were to ask me what new car I would want, I'm not gonna say a Lamborghini or a fucking Bugatti.
And the only reason
I'm gonna
people
look you
know
dead
that
in the
is
eye,
because every
and I'm gonna
single
say,
other
I
music
want a
video.
brand new Ford Mustang. I want a Ford Mustang.
Yep.
Okay. Probably a F350 dual E Power Stroke, and they're $70,000 new. Most people look like, oh, I want a Bugatti. I could take it and resell it and buy 20 cars. What's the point of that? Money doesn't buy happiness. I have $20 in my pocket right now. And I have $140 in the bank. When I worked at Walmart, I had a solid $1,000 in the bank. And usually 300 bucks in my pocket. But I wasn't happy. They treated me like shit there. They worked me into the ground. They treated me like a nigger. Yeah, I work at Wendy's. I flip hamburgers. I'll admit it, I flip fucking burgers. But everyone's nice there. Everyone's friendly. I like it there. I love it there. I actually like working there. I don't dread waking up for work. I mean, yeah, I'd rather get on some days and play PlayStation, but I don't mind going to work. When I worked in Walmart, I used to hate getting up for work. My mom always told me, and I'll never forget, do what makes you happy. Do not get where the money is. If you do what makes you happy, you will never, ever work a day in your life.
That's what. Okay, I was talking to my. They're so. And they're talking to us about work. They said, do what makes you happy. Regret. Because you're gonna be doing.
You're gonna be doing it the rest of your life.
And if you don't have something, you're not.
If you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I gotta go to work today, that ain't the right job for you. If you get up in the morning and you're like, sweet, it's time for work. Like, I remember when I worked at my neighbor's shop, when I was 14, I was helping him. I did minor things. I did brakes and oil changes. I woke up and like, sweet, it's time to go work with Mike. And I'd always have a smile, and I'd run over to his shop, because I liked working on cars. I loved it. But I never wanted to go to college for cars. I mean, I want to. But I told my dad, I said, aren't you still paying on my sister's college? He goes, yeah. I said, and then I don't want to go to college. He's like, why? I said, I don't want you paying for it. I said, you're still paying for Heather's. That's my sister. And he's like, let me tell you something. He goes, you weren't asked to be born. You didn't start talking out of my penis and go, hey, can I come out? He's like, no, I made you. I brought you into this world. But my biggest fear is, what if I go and I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't learn enough? My dad told me a story I'll never forget. When he wanted to become a paramedic, there's always a test, obviously. My dad failed with the 67% the first time. And you can retake it, obviously. His grandfather told him, he goes, you might have failed, but guess what? He goes, what? He says, you learned 67%. He's like, what do you mean? He goes, even though you failed, you still learned something. You still absorbed some of that information. He goes, it doesn't matter if you fail. No one's perfect. You still learned 67% of what was on that test. All you have to do now is go back and learn what you didn't know. And my dad took the test again, went back to class, and he passed with 100%. And he'll never forget, his grandfather walked up to the stage when he was getting his EMS license. He was shuffling up on the stage with his cane. He handed him a bag, a pair of gloves, and a stethoscope, you know, to check someone's heartbeat. And that stethoscope is still downstairs to this day. Even though my dad is not a paramedic anymore. Even though, I mean, I'm afraid of failing because if you fail, you have to pay for another year of schooling. And I don't want to have to pay, I don't want my dad to have to pay for my fuck up. That's my biggest fear. I don't want him to have to pay more in case I fail. That is my biggest fear. But my other thing that I love animals. Like, mind you, cats and dogs. I wouldn't mind being a vet. I love animals. Animals help my depression. That's why I love my cats. I mean, yeah, I want a dog, but my dad won't let me get one because I already have to take care of my mom. I wouldn't have time for a dog. But they help with my depression, and I just love animals. They're just... Dogs are... How can I put it? Sometimes humans don't deserve dogs. Because dogs will do so much for a human, it's so unfathomable. Like, dogs are the most loyal thing ever to a human. It's literally man's best friend. No, someone was in here.
I think he was in my game. Or something like that.
I think my favorite line from a movie would be from Green Mile. It would be when the big black guy said to the guard, "I'm tired. I'm tired, boss. Obviously tired of how ugly people are to each other." It's a simple line, but it speaks 1,000 words.
If I see your face around here again.
I mean, yeah, I like rap and country, and I have a big, impossible dream of maybe being a rapper or a country singer, but I just want to work on cars or sell cars, you know, just something with cars. Whether it be working on them or even being a NASCAR driver. You know, just when I'm behind the wheel of a car driving, that's when I am completely
I think we can
happy.
do that.
I don't know why. I just love the feeling of driving. It just feels so right. But it is also scary at the same time. Because you're a literal moving 1,000 pounds of metal. That's the downside.
I'm back.
Nope.
Frank.
Yeah, I heard you.
If I don't know how to put this. Like,
there's nothing scarier in this world than being afraid to do what you love. Because you might fail. Basically, feeling that you're not good enough. That is the worst feeling ever.
but if the doctors or something that you only
I mean,
have a day to
I'll
live,
never
or
forget
anyway.
the day my mom accidentally overdosed herself. She took her pills twice and she didn't realize it. It was her morning pills. She keeps them in a cup that says morning, afternoon, and bedtime. And when she took them, she filled it back up. Because, you know, have them ready for the next day. She saw them and she's like, oh, I forgot to take them. So she took them again. She did have a DNR. Do not resuscitate. I found it. I ripped it up. Because me and my dad have the power to override that. Most people don't know that. You can contest that. If your mother has a DNR and your dad says to basically tube her, put her on life support to try and save her, the doctors have to listen to him. My dad kind of wanted to let my mom go. He wasn't sure what to do. He did not know what to do. He didn't know if he should try and save her, or if they brought her back, she could have came back a vegetable. Like completely, you know, she couldn't move at all. That was the #1 factor. That's why he wasn't sure what to do. But he said he'll never remember me crying so hard saying, please bring back my mother. Please bring back my mom. I was literally bargaining with the doctors. I'm like, I'll give you my truck. I'll give you my PlayStation. I said, I will give you everything I own if you just bring back my mother. And that was when I found God. There was a chapel in the church. The same chapel my father prayed in when my sister was born. She was born basically underweight. She wasn't, you know, the average weight baby. And they thought she wasn't going to make it. I was in there begging God to bring back my mother. I literally stayed next to my mom in that hospital for 3 days. I didn't go to work. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I just sat there for 3 days. And they finally brought her back, and I was so happy. Like, you do not know what you have until you almost lose it or you do lose it. Like, if I could give up anything to see my mother walk and be healthy like me, I would do it. I would give up my truck. I'd sell it just to buy the medicine, the cure. I would sell anything. I'd sell my guns. I'd work overtime. It's just, if I could take my mother's pain away from her and give it to me, I would do it. I would take her illnesses just so she could be healthy. I would. Because I know she deserves so much better. And I can't give it to her. There's nothing worse knowing that you can't help someone. That all you can do is just make them comfortable. Knowing that you can't really help them is the worst feeling in the world. My dad had prostate cancer for a while. He took medicine, he got better.
Like a brand new weapon, trust me.
We had a scare there for a while. We thought my mom had a tumor on her brain. And when you operate on someone with MS, because of the muscles, that's the disease of the muscles don't always heal and they tend to bleed a lot during surgery. She could die on the table. They refused to operate. I'm glad it came back negative, that it was not a brain tumor. That's why when someone makes a cancer joke, or a crippled joke, or a depressing joke, or a suicidal joke, I get fucking pissy. because I tried to kill myself a few times. I've almost succeeded. Technically, I shouldn't be here right now. As many pills as I took 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I should be dead. I had a 20% chance of living. It's a miracle my case didn't shut down. But I fought like hell in the hospital. And I remember my mother sat with me the entire time, and so did my father. So when my mom was in the hospital, I did the same thing she did. I sat there. The worst thing you can do in life is give up. That is the best advice I'll give you. Never give up. Work. Never give up. When you give up, then you're truly dead.
I just like to say that you're a great guy. You are a guy. Like, the fact that you stayed with family, no matter what, and they stayed with you, that's some dedication. You never gave up over anything. You worked all your life for everything.
I never gave up on my mother or my father. Yes, my sister moved out. She started her own family, but I'll admit she changed. I always tell my dad she's no longer a Seabeck. Her last name is Slutter now. She's a Slutter. She has Seabeck blood, but she doesn't act the same. She married into a richer family. When we met them, I mean, how can I put it? They're not rich like Donald Trump, but they had more money than us. And they always seemed, their father was really nice, and so was the mother and grandmother. But her husband, he's a real prudy prick. How can I put it? His real name is Rick. He likes to be called Richard, because it sounds more fancy. I hate that. They had a kid. I love him. He's my nephew. His name's Ricky. Technically it's Richard, but we call him Ricky. Everyone does. Except his father calls him Richard. Yes, I love my sister with all my heart. The last time she was here, she called my mother a pill addict. She said, Mom's addicted to pills and she needs to quit. I said, I hate to tell you this, Heather, I love you dearly, but Mom needs most of those pills for all her diseases and pain. She doesn't take them for fun. I said, and the fact that you said your own mother's a pill addict, if you weren't my sister, I would smack you upside the fucking head right here. I said, you weren't here taking care of her. You were off in fucking Virginia on a beach celebrating in the fucking sand. I said, you weren't here to help them. I said, I was. I said, you weren't here. I was. I said, you may have brain smarts. You might be smart with like finances and taxes and all that fancy paperwork bullshit. I said, but you forgot where you came from. I said, you forgot your roots. I said, you grew up in Pennsylvania. I said, you're from the country. Like, you forgot who you are. This isn't you. I said, the first time Richard met us, we were gutting a fucking deer in the driveway. My dad wiped the blood off his hand to shake his hand. He was appalled. Well, sorry, Mr. Pretty Boy. I've gotten in a fight with him before, and I'll admit, I whooped his fucking ass. I didn't know what was happening. I just walked in, get a glass of water when we were visiting. I saw my sister crying, and he was standing up. So I figured he was yelling at her, so I just tackled him and started beating the fuck out of him. Mind you, he's, I don't know, 37, 35. I was 17 at the time, and I literally gave him 2 black eyes and a broken nose. And he had the audacity to call me a bug-eyed redneck at my grandfather's funeral. I'll never forget my grandfather.
We're talking about some
Pat.
pretty serious stuff though right now, so like now's not the time though.
My grandfather's name was Pat. My mom's dad. That was the only grandfather I knew. I loved him dearly. And he loved his grandchildren. And my sister was in the marching band for high school. My grandfather would walk up the street with him. He'd be telling random people, "That's my granddaughter, that's my granddaughter." And my sister, I mean, yeah, she cried, but I never left the casket. They had to drag me out of the funeral home when they were closing. I visited his grave about every day after work if I had the time. My sisters, my mom's sisters and brothers, put him in a nursing home against his will. Because he gave his son power of attorney over himself. He broke his hip when he was in there. He had Alzheimer's, and he got up to walk to go to the bathroom. And he forgot he needed his walker. He fell and broke his hip. He got a new hip, but he died after the surgery. I remember getting in my car because my dad called me because he works at the hospital as a maintenance man. He told me, "Come up here, grab Mom, Grandpa just died." I said, "What?" He goes, Pap just died." I carried the casket for my grandfather to the grave. And I'll never forget, his little ungrateful fucking nephew, basically my mom's sister's son, he walked into the pallbearer's room that carries the casket and goes, "I can't wait till we just get him in the ground." I grabbed him by his fucking hair and I beat the fuck out of him right there. It took... My mom's brother was a Marine. It took him 5 minutes to pull me off of him. And he is fucking ripped.
Like a stereo.
I miss like my Pap.
Frank,
I
like,
always told him I was gonna take him for a drive. When I got my license, I was not old enough at the time. I had my license, I could have taken him. But since my mom's sisters and brothers had power of attorney, they told the nursing home that he wasn't allowed to leave with anyone except them. I hate my mom's brothers and sisters. I told them to their faces, I hope they fucking choke on their own spit. And one of them got in my face. I said, "That's the last thing you want to do, buddy." I said, "You killed your own father by putting him in there." I said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." I said, "I treated him better in my 18 years of life than you did for your whole 70. I said, "That man raised you. He did everything he could for you. He busted his ass on the farm. He laid tar for the roads. And you repay him this way?" I said, "You're no son. You're a piece of shit." I said, "I don't care that you fought in Vietnam and that you have anger issues." I said, "You know what I think?" He goes, "What?" I said, "I wish you would have got shot in Nam." And he got cancer. Karma's a bitch. Remember Agent Orange and Nam? He got affected by it. He got cancer everywhere. He died. Yeah, it's a shame he died. No one deserves to die. I mean, yeah, he was 70 plus years old. He was the oldest brother. But he was a dick. He got in my mom's face at the funeral. You know what the funny thing was? The nephew that said that about him, they had to move the funeral just so he could go to prom. My mom got in her sister's face, and her brother tried to separate him. He grabbed my mom by the throat. I walked up and grabbed him in the throat and started squeezing. I said, "You let go of her. I'll fucking kill you right here." And he grabbed me. I just fucking right hooked him in the fucking face as hard as I could. I said, you said you may be family, but you ain't shit to me. I said, that's your father in there. I said, and the fact that you over there have to move the fucking funeral date because your son's going to prom. I said, my father's grandfather died. Tata. That's Czechoslovakian for grandfather. When he died, it was around the same time my dad was going to prom. Him and his prom date went to the funeral. I said, I just miss my pap.
Oh.
He took care of my mom's mom. She had MS. She couldn't walk at all after a while. She couldn't even move her arms. He took care of her every day, even though he worked on a farm. He owned the farm. He even worked on tarring roads, and he still took care of her. The only day he didn't is when he bowled. He bowled every Thursday. Because he loved bowling. He almost got a perfect game. It was funny. The day he did almost get a perfect game, he got kicked by a cow in his groin. He was bleeding blood the entire time, but he bowled a 287. And the only thing his son ever did was his son bowled too, and he bowled a perfect game. Many of them. And you get rings for him. He gave him his trophy. His trophy and his ring when he was buried in it. I remember from the car that I had, that I was going to take it for a ride in, when I sold it, I kept one of the keys and the cigarette lighter. Because Pat liked to smoke cigars sometimes. That's the only thing I could give him when he died.
Shibesky, if you make me delete this, I will kill you.
My grandfather was the best man I ever knew. He never talked bad about anybody, and he would do anything for anybody. I remember he used to watch me when I was little because my parents worked. He fell asleep and I got my painting kit. It was water soluble paint, water paint. I finger painted him when he was sleeping. We'd always sit in the rocking chair, eat chips, and watch cartoons. I'll never forget that. He woke up, my mom thought he was gonna be mad. He was like, why would I be mad? He's my grandson. Because it's just paint, it'll come off. I don't even know.
I don't really talk to them, but like I used to like never go over their house to their house. They live right next to me. I used to like their say, "Grandma, I love you." Whenever she kissed me on the cheek, I would just wipe it off. And now one day I just decided I don't treat her like I should. I'm a grandson. I don't talk to her.
I mean, my current grandma's crazy, and she's nuts and rude. I mean, she treats my mom bad, but I'll still call her and talk to her and ask her how she's doing. But when she talks bad about my mom, I just tell her to fuck off and hang up, but I still talk to her sometimes. She's just a real pain in the ass. I never got to meet my dad's dad. He had a heart attack before I was born. I did get to meet my mom's mom, but I was only, I don't know, a couple weeks old as a baby. They had to help her hold me. They basically supported her arms to make her feel like she was holding me. And then a couple weeks later, she died. But I'll never forget my mom when Pat died. I have never, ever seen her cry so hard in her life. It was just bad.
I don't appreciate my parents, you know, or anybody in my family, really. Because, like, my brothers treat me like shit. My dad throws me, like, on the ground if I wake up.
Stand up for yourself.
I don't, like, help.
No, I mean,
Yell at
tell them to knock it off and fight back. That's what.
lazy fat slob. And whenever she doesn't let me.
You broke up a bit there. Your mic's breaking up a little bit.
But like my mom calls me lazy fat slob, and whenever I actually want to do stuff with friends and go out and watch a movie or just hang out with my friends, she wouldn't let me. And I told her, I said, Mom, you always call me lazy, but when I actually want, I can't.
I know the feeling. My parents were kind of the same way. Not completely, though. It's, like, oh, all you do is stay around the house. Why don't you go out with your friends? Hey, can I go out? No. I know the feeling. It's just, it's hard to explain. Like, sometimes...
Like my dad, just because he actually, like, one time I asked Mom if I could go to a girl's house, because, like, we're just friends. I'm actually dating somebody else, which I told you about her last night, and but, like, when I went, so the first time I went out with, like, my friend that I wanted to go to their house, I'll just say her name, Nina, and I'm dating Alicia, okay? So, and then there's Nina, who's Alicia's friend, and they hang out all the time, and Alicia, like, invites me sometimes. And we went to the park. Well, we went to the park one time. With me, just me and Nina and Alicia. And, like, my dad actually let me go. And I know that's something my mom wouldn't let me do. We went swimming today because my dad was here and he'd go ahead. But, like, my mom just didn't let me do that stuff because apparently it's bad for a 13-year-old boy to be dating someone when, you know, we're going into 8th grade and that stuff. So we should be doing that, you know? Dating.
There's no problem with that. I mean, my first girlfriend, I was actually a girlfriend, you know, not just, hey, we're dating, you know, an actual girlfriend was around 8th grade, or, yeah, 8th grade exactly, to be exact. You know, I don't see a problem with it. That's me. Everyone's different, though. Everyone's parents grew up in a different time. My dad was born in 1959, and my mom was born in 1963. They grew up in different times, and your parents might have grew up differently with different, you know, everyone's parents are taught different, you know?
But one thing I hate about it is those, like, half my actually nice friends are girls, and, like, I can't hang out with them because my mom.
No, I know that feeling.
Because apparently it's so bad for a guy to be hanging out with a girl. Because apparently, you know, I'm just there to make out with them or something stupid like that.
She's just afraid that you're gonna fool around and get someone pregnant, probably.
Understandable, but it's also
Oh, I know.
doing that stupid stuff.
It's just your mom being protective, that's all. My mom was the same way, and my dad was the one that would let me go out. I know how to relate to that.
Like, if I ever just told, like,
my dad trusted me enough to, you know, let me go out late or stay at a friend's house or hang out with a girl. That's why when I ever asks my dad like something like that, obviously back then, I mean, I still ask now because I live here, and then they have to know where I am. But that's one thing. Even though I'm 20, I'm over the age of 18. If you live under someone's house and they pay the bills, you follow their rules, no matter what they are. They tell you no swearing, no swearing. They tell you curfew is 11 o'clock. Your ass better be in the house by 11. Because they pay the bills and you don't. Now, if I lived by myself, I could make my own rules. But I don't. Because I stay here and take care of my parents. And
that's understandable. Like, if my mom was dead, I would try and do everything.
So here's the thing. Ask your dad to talk to your mom. Maybe, you know, explain to him that she's just, I don't know, maybe too overprotective, doesn't trust you enough, kinda. My dad trusted me enough to be home on time, to not do anything stupid. While my mom was more
like,
worried.
now that it's summer, the thing I actually hate it is that my mom wants me to pay off everything with work. Because, like, I'm able to work with my dad, you know?
Understandable. Because when my first job was when I was 13 at my neighbor's. I worked there until I was 16. Once I turned 16, I got a real job. And every summer after school, when I was 13, I was working. I worked my entire summer at my neighbor's shop. I mean, yeah, we were off on the weekends because the shop wasn't open on Saturdays and Sundays. But I learned the meaning of hard work and what a dollar really is. Like, what is the value of a dollar? It's a dollar? What I'm trying to say is, what is it worth? Let's say you're hungry.
A lot of
Like,
people
how can I describe it? Like, let's say you're in Walmart. You see this video game you want for PlayStation. And you have the money. And you're like, think to yourself, do I really need it? Do I really need it? My dad always taught me, walk away for 5 minutes. Just look around the store. If it's still on your mind, that means you really want it and need it. There's a difference between needing it and wanting it. It's like, ooh, I want that. I don't know. Let's see, what's a good example?
things that I
I want a pet hamster. Do you really want a hamster? Do you need it? Walk away. If it's still on your mind, get it. That's one thing my dad always taught me. If you ever almost, what's the word? Impulse buy something. Like you just want it all of a sudden. Walk away. Distract yourself. If it's still in your head that you want it, that must mean you need it. And that's what I do.
Like, there's so many things that I want. Okay.
That's the thing. Do you need them? Do you actually?
So many things I want.
Banning docks, South
Like
LS.
pre-order
Enemy
games,
agents
like
have a
Assassin's Creed
stockpile of
Origins, that's
hardware.
new.
We want to get it out of their hands
World War
and
II.
it's yours, so go to work.
I want
Clandestine
like all
might be
those
the way to
games
go
and
about it,
stuff.
but I'm not
And we
one
just
to
got the
dictate terms.
I want
VR,
Good luck.
like move control.
And people in hell want ice water. Point is,
So like,
you don't need it, but you want it. But let's say you have the money for it.
Hello, this is Pegasus
If you're
Lifestyle
working,
Management.
it's
How can I
okay.
help?
If
Thank you, madam. Your
you're,
spectacular aircraft
it's
is now
really
ready for
hard
you
to
at our
describe.
nearest airfield.
It's like, let's say you see a box of cookies in Walmart. It's $5. You have 10 in your pocket. Oh, I really could go for a cookie right now. walk away for about 5 minutes. Go look at toys or, I don't know, movies or something. If those cookies are still on your mind, fuck it, buy them. That's what I do. But if you walk out the store without them and you forget about it, that means you didn't need it. Because it wasn't that important for you to remember them. That's the best thing my dad taught me, because I used to instantly buy anything at Walmart, and that's why I had money. Like, I used to be bad with money. I'll admit it, I used to be bad with money. I have a bad budget. Not me.
Still,
I'm good now. I had the same $20 bill from a year ago in my fucking wallet. And I'm good with money. Like I said, I saved up $2,000 in 1 month and a half at Walmart to pay back my mom for that truck, even though she told me not to. You wanna know how I didn't? You wanna know how I saved it up? I didn't eat at work. I didn't eat. The only thing I did was I got a drink. I got a drink and I snuck food from the deli. Sometimes I'd buy something if I was really hungry for $2, but that was it. Everything else, no. I didn't buy cigarettes, I didn't smoke. I chewed because it was cheaper. My dad taught me that. You want to save money? Don't eat at work. Bring your own food. Don't eat out as much. I mean, I'll admit, I was craving Wendy's tonight. I was craving it yesterday too. But here's the thing. My dad gave me $5 as I told him I was hungry. Something from Wendy's. I took it. I said thanks. I woke up later that day around 5 o'clock, because I always stay up about this late, and I wasn't hungry for it anymore. And I went to the vape shop. I got some vape juice. I was like, should I buy this? I'm like, yeah, I need some vape juice. I spent $53 on vape juice, and I got a bottle for free. And I still have $150 in the bank and $23 in my pocket. And meaning I have money for gas and money for bills until next payday. Because next payday I have to pay my car insurance, which is $65, which is actually really, really cheap. Point is, when you start working for stuff and start paying your own bills, because when I first got my car, my dad paid the insurance. Because, like I said, I worked with my neighbors to buy it. It wasn't enough to pay the insurance too. I didn't even know car insurance existed until I got my truck, the first truck. And I started paying it. It didn't bother me. But then I started buying video games, and I'm like, shit, I don't have enough money for car insurance. So I gave my dad what I could, and he paid the rest of it. And that's when I started budgeting. I mean, it was nice being a kid, being able to buy whatever I wanted at the time. But now that I have priorities, I have to put those first. That's what you have to do. You know? There's necessities, and then there's wants. Yeah, I'd like a new video game every day. Doesn't mean I have the money for it. That's why you don't see me playing too many new games. I play like Dead Island, a $30 game for 2 games. You don't see me buying any $60 games. The last $60 game I bought, oh shit, what was it? Battlefield 1, when it came out. That was the last $60 game I ever bought for a while. The next one will probably be Call of Duty World War II. Maybe. I mean, I do want it, but I don't have the money for it right now.
Just try the beta. Put $5 in it from GameStop.
That's probably what I'm gonna do. I still get joy out of the games like this and Clash of Clans. Like, I think I bought something on Clash of Clans for like $20 worth of gems, and it came with a builder hut, free, and the Archer Queen, level 2, and an Expo level 2. The Archer Queen was level 1. My bad. For $20 and $20 worth of gems, I said fuck it. That's a lot of stuff for $20. The ultimate goal is just do what makes you happy, but be sensible about it.
I mean, I don't have like a steady income. Like my paycheck is based off if I wake up and decide to work or not. And like my dad pays me $50 a day, which is way less than minimum wage, by the way. I did the math.
$50 a day at your age is a lot. I'll tell you what. I worked a week in a day. Let me stop you there. A day. I worked a week at my neighbor's. I made $60 to $80, depending on if I went to work or not. Some days. If I went every day, I got 80. If I went 4, I got 60. $50 a day is pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
Shit. $50 a day. I think I'd do it. I think I would do it. Fuck.
Yeah, I did the math though.
How many hours a day do you usually work?
Around 8 to 5 or 4.
Oh, so 4 to 8. So we'll round that off at 6 hours, $50. That's actually pretty fucking good.
I did it like 725. I don't know.
725.
725. Yeah. I did the math, and that's around that's like $69 a day.
So $50 ain't that fucking bad.
Yeah. It's just 19 less. It's whatever.
But here's the thing with minimum wage: taxes get taken out.
Like, okay,
federal,
so
state,
how
local.
it is, my dad works for Snap-on, you know, like, my allowance paycheck is kind of based off what people buy.
Yeah, because it's a selling thing.
And I only get 3% of what people buy. That's it, like money in the... I only get 3% of money in the...
That's not too bad. There's a thing, I'll admit, I don't mind working, but you also need to take care of yourself and rest. You can't always work. You do that, you're gonna die.
One thing, like, I'm like actually scared to ask my mom or something, because like, I know she's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna have to work for it. Oh, you're gonna have to, like I understand that's how life is. But, you know, I'm just a kid. Like, I can't work for everything ever.
Oh, I know.
You know?
There's nothing wrong with asking for something. It's nice to be handed something small. Whether it be a hamburger, to fries, a drink, or a fucking game or something.
Like, I asked my mom randomly, I was thinking...
Hmm? What? What are you thinking?
Must have lagged out.
Hmm. Is he still on?
He'll probably be back.
Yeah, he's online. Don't play him.
Imagine so my channel gets better.
It says he's still in here.
Yeah, I just hope my channel gets better in the future. I plan on just using the money I get from my channel to actually start to make a gaming company. That's why I put pretty much everything on my channel.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, he lagged offline. I ain't played him though. Yep, there he is. He's back. He's online now.
You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Friday.
Sorry, I lagged out.
Yeah, we could tell. You were saying.
So I randomly asked my mom one day, Mom, I think I'd look good. Like, I think plaid would look good on. I said, I randomly just thought one day, I might look good in plaid, you know, like redneck, like red stuff.
Denim, I know what you're saying.
Basically what a lumberjack would wear, you know?
Yeah, plaid jacket.
Yeah. I just randomly thought, you know, I might actually look not that bad in one of those, and I just told my mom, Mom, I'm gonna wear plaid.
What'd you say?
I can't remember exactly.
I mean, I have a plaid jacket. They're comfy. They keep you warm too. I mean, it's not good for winter, but keeps you warm. Not everyone's looks good in plaid though.
You know, like if I slick back my, not like, if I had my hair, and oh my god, that's huge. If I had my hair like done and everything, cause like, well, this is really hard to explain. I have this hair gel that I haven't really used that much, cause like I got it for school and it was out. Cause like I got a haircut one day and she used that and I thought it was like really good. So I asked Mom for some, and it cost like $13. And I don't really use it that much, but like if I started like going out more, going out with friends and that stuff, I'd actually use it, you know. I honestly just feel like I don't get much appreciation from my parents as I should get. I understand they want to teach me like discipline or like
Life's not all fun and games.
Yeah, I understand that they want me to work stuff, but like if I have to work to wear one shirt that probably costs what, $15, 20, I don't know, then that's kind of silly. So like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain.
I know.
Like, I want to work for stuff, but I don't want to work for literally every single thing I've ever wanted. Okay. This is making me sound stupid.
You want to be handed a few things, but not everything. It's nice to get a gift once in a while.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Like, I really would like a plaid. Like, plaid shirts or something.
Like, once you get to my age, you remember, I'm pretty sure at Christmas time you got clothes, you just chucked them away in the corner. You just open the toys. Shit. When I open them now, I'm like, fuck yeah, new socks. Or fuck yeah. Like, I only have one pair of pants for Wendy's because you're only allowed to wear dress pants, and they have to be black. And just a, you know, clove code or whatever. Dress code, that's it. And I outgrew my other 2 pair. This pair fits.
Like, I asked for some shirts, like Call of Duty shirts, from my mother for Christmas. And, like, I mean, I got them, and I was actually excited. And I also got a snapback hat that had the Modern Warfare logo on it. And, you know, I haven't worn it in quite a while. And now I feel kind of bad because, like,
You know what? We're turning this resupply into a fact-finding mission.
yeah, I feel bad.
Some known cartel associates have been congregating in the storm drains off the LS River. They've got arms in there.
Oh,
If
I
you
know.
flush them out, they're all yours.
And I asked my dad, I said, I need to get at least 2 more pairs of pants for work. I remember he said, why don't you buy them? You work at Walmart, or you worked at Walmart, and you're working now, why don't you buy them? I said, Dad, I
just thought, I do need to work for things. Like,
Hello,
I actually just
Lifestyle Management.
wake
How can
up
I help you?
and work. Like,
Great. The aircraft is waiting for you at our nearest airfield. We
My
trust
dad-
you'll be happy, madam.
hold on. So, like, I'm just now thinking of this, but, like, if I actually do work, I'll get stuff. Like, I can get some gifts and stuff, you know?
Because we'll see how hard you're working.
Yeah. Like, if I work 7 days a week for a month, which we only work Monday through Friday. So, but, you know, hypothetically speaking, you know, I might get, like, I think I should be more like you and just appreciate small things I get.
It's not hard. Like I said, Dad, I need some pants. He's like, why don't you buy them? I said, Dad, to be honest, I would, but I just don't have the money right now because I have to pay for car insurance and keep money in mind for gas or food for work if I get hungry or drink or something, you know? He's like, I know, I'm just saying. He says, what about smoke? I said, Dad, don't even go there. I said, I know I smoke, I chew, but I cut back a lot. I cut back a hell of a lot. I said, Dad, I only smoke cigarettes at work. And I smoke one on the way home sometimes if I had a bad day at work or something. Or if I'm just stressed. And I hardly chew. Like, I only chew when I'm craving it. That's why I have a couple cans. Here I have like 20 cans of different flavors. Sometimes I'm in the mood for it. But I mainly vape more than anything because it's, I mean, yeah, it's not good for you technically. It's bad for your lungs, but it's actually better for your heart than smoking cigarettes. Studies say that, at least.
I mean, yeah, people use vape to, like, get away from smoking.
Like, I mean, I quit smoking before. It's not hard. I just chewed more and vaped more. But when you're at work, it's hard to lug around a fucking vape. And it's easier to go outside and puff on a cigarette, put it out, and go back in. It's hard to go out, put a dip in, take it out, you know, get it out of your lip, rinse your mouth, and go back to work. It's more convenient to light a cigarette when you're at work, because it's hard. You can't chew tobacco around food. And because you can smoke a cigarette and then wash your hands. And it doesn't, you know, leave a bad mouth. It just gives you a nicotine buzz, which is craving. And I said, yeah, I smoke, but only at work. I said, I buy a pack of cigarettes maybe every 2.5 weeks. I said, that's like once a month. I said, sometimes I only buy 1 pack of cigarettes for a month. Because I only smoke on my, like I said, at work. Like, if I smoke a cigarette at home, that's when I'm very, very stressed. And that is rare. But I just tend to puff on my vape. Like, I'm sure you heard it when I was talking. You could probably hear it firing. Like, it's just easier. And it's better for my car.
You're honestly kind of living, like, the dream.
I wish,
You live
but
a simple life.
that's all I want is a simple life. I don't want no fancy fucking house, or actually, I wouldn't mind owning a farm one day. That's a lot of work, but I like the simple life.
There are these snobby kids out here. Like,
I hate. We have a lot of those coming. Like, yeah, man, my Honda's nice. I'm like, yeah, I bet your parents bought it. They're like, how'd you know? I'm like, I can tell by your fucking attitude. Like, we had a teenage kid come through drive-through. He's revving his car. You can tell it's brand new. And I'm like, how old are you, man? He's like, 17. I'm like, what year is this car? He goes, 2015. I said, you didn't buy it. So here's your food.
You know, if I, like, worked for a car, I would actually appreciate it. And, like, if my mother or father bought it for me,
when you work for something, you will appreciate it more if it's than if it was handed to you.
Like, my dad has this nice BMW, and, you know, like, whenever I'd be able to drive, I'd really like it. But, like, I want to work. Like, BMWs are nice, don't get me wrong, but they're expensive as hell.
Mm-hmm. They're very nice cars. I just hate people that don't appreciate what they got.
I think I should start appreciating more.
I mean, I don't have much. I have a bed, 2 guns, fish, TV. I remember when I worked at Walmart, I had $300 left in my bank from my paycheck. My mom's TV, she was the only one in the house that didn't have an HD TV. And I felt bad. And I got a 10% discount on anything, so for Mother's Day I bought her a TV. It was a 40-inch HD. It was like $200, but I paid $180. She cried and she's like, why'd you have to spend your money on this? I'm like, it's just money. I can get it back. Like, my dad always told me, he goes, I could take a $20 bill, rip it up, and I could go get another one. He goes, money's just a piece of fucking paper. That's all it will ever be. He goes, I could light a $20 bill on fire. But the only thing special about it is that it rules the world. Money is the root of all evil. It really is, and I agree with that statement. Like, the best example I can think of is my sister. She got into a family that had more money than us, and she completely fucking changed. And I have to say it's like, just because you can get all this, and this, does not make you better than me. Just because I grew up in the country and I don't know as much as everyone else about politics or whatever, doesn't mean no one's better than anyone. We're all human. I don't care if you're black, Mexican, or rich, or poor, or homeless. If I cut you, you bleed red. We all bleed red. We will all die one day. We are all equal. Here's a perfect example. After playing a game of chess, the king and the pawn are put in the same box. Meaning, for us, a coffin, it doesn't matter if I'm a hobo, or some farmer, or Donald Trump. We're all going to be put in a casket one day. And we're all going to go in the ground. I don't care who you are. You're going to die. No one is greater than anybody. Donald Trump is not greater than me because he's the president, not because he's rich and has all these millions of dollars and all these companies. I'll give him this. He worked for it. His dad might have gave him that small loan of $1 million, but he appreciated it for what his father did, and he paid him back. I'll give Donald Trump that. He worked for everything he ever owned and has. I may not like him because he's a little bit prejudiced. A little bit. Not completely. But he's a hell of a man in my eyes.
One thing, like, sorry, one of those don't work.
Oh, if you're a hard worker, you're already a friend in my eyes.
Like, I'm gonna start waking up.
The way I see it is, I go to work, make some money, go home, and when I'm there, I have fun with my coworkers. I can have a good time at work, bullshit a little, eat a few fries and nuggets because they really don't care. I remember a customer walked up to me when I was mopping the floor and everyone else was busy chatting, and I gave her 2 refills. And she says, "Thank you, sir. I hope you have a real wonderful night." Even that little gesture of her telling me that, and I was in a bad mood, I'll admit it. I was in a pretty shitty mood today. Just her saying that made me smile, and I said, "Thanks, ma'am. I hope you have a good night too."
The small things in life are the best things.
Exactly. Sometimes the best things in life are free. The best things in life are free. Here's my example.
It could just be someone shaking your hand.
Someone being nice to you, or even complimenting you, just talking to you, listening to you. Some of the best things are free. Like, think about it. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. It doesn't cost anything to do something nice. Holding the door for someone.
I agree with Darkstar. Okay, so I'm screaming in Darkstar. He said, "I don't understand why people got so upset over the small ones and like, not everybody can take 100%.
I mean, like, if I have I don't know if anyone here watches The Simpsons, but there was an episode when Homer first got married to Marge, and his father gave him every dollar bill that he had, and a bird came down and swooped it out of his hands. And he goes, "I gave you everything I had, and it still wasn't enough." That scene always spoke 1,000 words to me, because it doesn't matter, like, Donald Trump getting $1 million because that's what his father could give him. Not everybody's father can do that. My dad gave me $20 the other day just because he wanted to help me. He didn't have to, but that's all he could give me, and I appreciated it. It's not the number or the money that matters. It's like, the point of Christmas is always about giving, not receiving. I always thought that was bullshit when I was a little kid. Like, I want presents. When you give someone something and you see them open it and they smile, they get happy, that is the best feeling in the world. You can't fucking buy that. You can't get that anywhere else. That is the best feeling, is knowing that you made someone else happy. You made someone else's day. Like, that is some of the best feelings in the world, isn't knowing you made someone's day better. They actually said in a study online that someone holding the door for someone can actually brighten someone's day. Like, any...
Or like, actually a good example for this. Because, like, they don't get much. Because everybody's thinking, oh, he'll just buy drugs or
alcohol.
All you gotta do is pick the supplies and bring them to
Which
the
some of
bunker,
them do,
and
but
maybe
not
look out
all
for
of them.
trouble along the way.
And they don't realize that, like,
some of these people are actually homeless.
Yeah. And also, like, that could make their life. Like, if you gave like,
Hello, this is Pegasus
they
Lifestyle Management. How can I help?
Storming? I'm gonna check.
Great. The aircraft is
Yeah, I think
waiting
it's
for you at
storming.
our nearest airfield.
Like,
We trust you'll be
if
happy,
we gave
madam.
them dollars, maybe. Even
Like,
just $20. You like, you know, that could.
I remember I was at Walmart one day. My shift was over. I was out of cigarettes, so I got in the cigarette line to get a pack. And there was a lady and a little girl in front of me. They had a small buggy full of a few items. And she had food stamps, and I could tell she actually needed it because she wasn't the typical white trash that I saw there. And she started crying when she had to put some stuff back. And she had a Barbie doll in there for her daughter. And she's like, "Mommy, why are you putting that back?" She goes, "Mommy can't afford that right now." And I sat there thinking, I said, "Ma'am, how much is all that you can't afford?" She goes, $20 about. I said, "Here, I'll pay for it." And I swiped my card, and I swiped my discount so I could save a few dollars. I said, "Here's your doll." She goes, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Called paying it forward, being nice." I said, "They had to put back food." I said, "She had a kid. The kid has to eat." She goes, "You didn't have to buy her a doll." I said, "I know. I'm just not gonna get any cigarettes now." And I went home. I sat there and thought, if I'm buying myself cigarettes for fucking $7 a pack almost, like $6.50 plus tax, it's almost $7 depending on which pack I get. I usually get Marble Midnights, but sometimes I switch if I don't have enough money. I said, I'm over here buying cigarettes, and this lady here can't even buy fucking food. It was the least I could do. And the fact that I made the little girl's day by buying her a Barbie doll made me happy. And I remember an old man came to the deli. He wanted one of our pizzas. We didn't have any at the time because sold. He goes, "Oh, I'll just come back." And I said, "No, sir. I'll put one in right now. What would you like?" He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." I said, "The customer's always right." I said, "What'd you like, sir?" Because I'd like a plain cheese pizza. I said, "I'll throw it in right now. It'll take 15 minutes. I'll bring it out to you when it's done." I brought it out to him, and he was crying. I said, "What's wrong, sir? I got your pizza." He goes, "I don't have enough money for it." I said, "It's only $5, sir." He goes, "I don't have enough money." He goes, "I checked my card. I only got $2. I said, I called my manager over. I said, can we just give this to him?" My manager looked at me. I said, "Just give it to him. He's an old man. Come on." I said, "Walmart could spare $5. He's like, "I'll just say that you dropped it in the back and I had to mark it as a throwaway." I said, "That sounds good. Here you go, sir. This one's on Walmart." He's like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes, sir. Thank you for shopping at Walmart." And I remember he wrote a letter about me to Walmart, and I ended up getting Employee of the Month for it. And I still have the badge that I got awarded for it sitting right over there for customer satisfaction. It's a little smiley face.
someone else's day can make up your day.
Like, I
you know,
understand you have to take care of yourself, but if you can help someone else and still have enough to take care of yourself, you should do it. That's just me, though. My thing is, I have a caring heart. I hate seeing people go hungry. I hate seeing people suffer. I hate it so much. The fact that I know that I can go home to a warm bed, air conditioning, eat, you know, drive a truck, makes me feel bad that there's people out there that have it worse than me, you know? It makes me feel bad. And sometimes caring too much can get you hurt. Remember that. There's actually one thing I miss doing. I actually miss Boy Scouts. Do your daily deed. I'll never forget learning that. You know, do your daily good deed. One good thing a day. I remember saying to my scoutmaster, I said, well, I just won. He goes, what do you mean? I said, shouldn't we help people as much as we can? Not just once a day. He says, you're absolutely right. I'll never forget that. I'm gonna go get an ibuprofen because I have a headache. I'll be right back.
Sorry to interrupt, but did Zabisky ever donate money at all? Like
to like
a donation or whatever?
Organizations, or you mean like to the Salvation Army, or?
Yeah.
I honestly could not answer that for him because I never really asked him. I mean, he might have. I'm not gonna sit here and say no because I don't like him.
Like maybe to his channel or whatever, because
he's had people donate to his channel.
No, I mean like him donating it to other organizations.
I could not answer that, honestly.
So, someone watched my stream, Dark Star. He said, I sat next to my mother in the hospital.
I will be back in one moment.
I wasn't able to do anything to help her. It really is. I don't think she should suffer. Like, I haven't had anybody die from, and to be honest, we like make like me and my friends, and I realize that like me and my friends like may say, oh, I just got that.
I'm back.
Really
I just have a headache and I need an ibuprofen or I'm gonna end up getting grouchy.
I can't talk. Like, no one deserves cancer. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, yeah, I know I'm bad, but I just like clipping. Like, that's like, it's my style of humor. And like, I could try to change it.
It's dark humor, which is acceptable as long as you're joking, in my opinion. As long as you're joking, there's no harm done. Like, hey, are you a fucking nigger? You dumb fucking monkey? You could tell from my voice that I'm fucking joking. If you get butthurt over a little joke, it's your own fucking fault. Like, at work today, I heard something that it kind of upset me at first, until I heard that it was a joke. My boss has MS, but he's black, and MS doesn't tend to affect, I hate to say, black people as bad as it does white people. It's just something about their blood or something. I don't know how to explain it. It's usually worse for white men to have MS. But since my mom has all these other diseases, you know, like lupus, Raynaud's syndrome, osteoporosis, type 2 diabetes, COPD, and so on, obviously she's in worse condition. And she has trouble walking because of her MS, you know? And he has MS, and he's having a little girl who's His wife's pregnant. He's like, my daughter's gonna come out, like, all crunkled up with arms, not being able to move. Go, Dad, why did you do this to me? I got upset. I was pissed. And then I saw him laughing. I'm like, oh, he's just joking. I said, okay. He's like, you okay, Frank? I said, I thought you weren't joking at first. He's like, oh. I said, yeah. I said, if you weren't joking, we might have had a problem. Like, I'll never forget. There was this one kid in my school. He made fun of my mother. I ignored it at first. My mom always told me, be the bigger man, walk away. I did that a lot. My dad told me, he goes, sometimes you have to fight back. You can't let people walk over you. And I definitely agree with him, and I agree with my mom. It's like yin and yang. You have to have a perfect balance. You have to know when to walk away. You have to know when to fight back. And I agree with that completely. One day I was in homeroom. I was sitting with him because he was the only one that would really talk to me.
Hold on. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it's storming pretty bad here. So fuck then. That's fine. Okay.
Hold on a second,
Sorry.
I'm gonna adjust. And
he's like, and it was dead quiet in the classroom. He goes, you know, if your mom died, all your problems would go away.
Oh my god.
The teacher just looked at me. I just started laughing. I'll never forget. I just started laughing. And I looked at, I mean, it was like a scary laugh. Like the Joker laugh. It was just fucking, my teacher was an ex-Marine. He said he was scared a little bit. And he just walked out of the classroom and shut the door. And as soon as he did, I just fucking grabbed him by the back of his head. I started beating his head off the fucking desk as hard as I could. I busted out 4 of his teeth, broke his nose, gave him 2 black eyes. Like, when the teacher came back in, there was just blood all over the desk, on the floor. And he looked at me and said, I didn't see a thing. And I looked at everyone else in the room because everyone in there hated me. I said, what about you? Do you agree with what he said about my sick mother? And even though they hated me, because I had anger issues, he said, I didn't see anything. Like, if someone ever made fun of my mother to me, I either flipped on them and screamed at them, or I just snapped and beat the shit out of them, basically. Like, I may be an average size guy. I'm 5'5", 5'6" in boots. I'm not tall at all. I'm actually pretty short. I have muscle on me, but I'm pretty scrawny, you know, a little bit scrawny. I'm a little bit skinny, let's put it like that. But I still got some meat on my bones. Even though I'm short, skinny, not a lot of muscle, when I'm pissed, I can really hurt somebody. Especially if you make fun of my mother. That's like my #1 pet peeve. Like, if you say it to my face and you're in arm's distance, you might want to run away. Like, and you better pray you have a fucking car. Not even then, I'll fucking chase you. Like, it's bad. But if you make fun of me, I could give a fuck less. I mean, I have people make fun of me to my fucking face. I just fucking laugh. I could give a fuck less what someone says about me.
Thinks there's some mileage in breaking
Oh,
down
you're
a
just an idiot.
technical pickup with a minigun on the
I can
back.
drink to that.
There's a high screw with the requisite.
Like, fuck, I don't
just
care.
gotta get it off of them.
You wanna call me an idiot? I haven't heard that one before. I only hear it about every day on fucking PlayStation. Oh, you're retarded. Heard that one too. Try again. You're a faggot. Oh, please. 2001's calling. They want their insult back. Your mom. Oh, they don't even get me started.
I just ignore those, to be honest. I don't really care. I just want to play.
Like, the only insults that bother me, like, when they're aimed at me, is like, oh, you're just some stupid inbred hillbilly. Like, yes, I'm from the countryside, so what? Doesn't mean I'm a hillbilly. It must be storming where he is. He keeps lagging out.
Well, in the morning, I gotta get my learner's permit.
For driving?
Mm-hmm.
No, you gotta take the test then.
Yep.
It's not that hard, as long as you read the manual. And it's it's mostly common sense.
I kind of.
If I lag out, I'm probably gonna have to join back through invite. So.
Yeah, that's why I invited you. The point being, you make fun of my mom and you're an arm's distance, even though I'm average height, 5'5", 5'6", and steel toe boots. I'll admit it, I'm thin, but I got muscle. I have a lot of muscle. Like when I take my shirt off, you can literally see. I used to have a six-pack, not a serious one, not like ripped six-pack. But you could see the lining of it, you know. Because I used to be pretty fit because I used to play football in middle school. I used to have a small six-pack.
You guys hear that, right?
Yeah, I can hear it. Like even now, if I look in the mirror, I can see where the six-pack is. I can see the line down the middle and the lines going across because I'm always lifting heavy shit at work. I lifted. What was it at Walmart? The garbage can. The garbage can itself weighs 50 fucking pounds. And usually the garbage in it is about an extra 250. I lifted that 300 pounds like nothing. And threw it over my shoulder. The only time I needed help is when there was like grease in it from cleaning the fryers. And it weighed about 400 pounds. And I was sitting there deadlifting it. I could only get it up to my fucking waist. And they're like, you're gonna hurt yourself. I said, well then give me a fucking hand. Oh, but you're a guy, you should be able to lift it. I said, oh, okay. I put it down, I said, lift it. I said, lift that bag. Come on. And he's taller than me, mind you. More meat on his bones. He couldn't even fucking pick it up off the ground.
Oh, God.
I said, you were saying? So I leaned over, picked it up, I said, no, push up underneath of it, you fucking wimp. He's like, ew, it's greasy. I said, yeah, go wash your hands. I said, if it's that big of a deal.
Hey, but if I do lag, which I probably will do then, like, yeah.
Like...
I think we'll be able to join back.
That's probably why your mic's breaking up too, because I hear Micgelo clear as day.
I don't even hear Micgelo.
He ain't talking at the moment, but when he does, it's clear.
I was assuming.
But sometimes people just need to vent, you know.
Like
blow off steam.
Violence in some cases, like our show, Bateman once, and it's about Psycho, by the way. If you didn't recognize the Bates.
Sometimes talking doesn't solve everything because the other person you'd be hell-bent on fighting. You could try talking all you want, but sometimes you have to fight. Like, I told someone I wasn't gonna fight him one time because he was a minor. But the rule is, if someone strikes you 3 times, it's assault. He came up to me in gym. I was 18 in school. He was 17. I'm not allowed to hit a minor. He whipped me in a headlock and started punching me in the face. I was just standing there, bent over. He's like, come on, you gonna fight back? And I said, just hold on. And he hit me 5 times. I said, now I will. And I just fucking reached my hand up, grabbed him by both testicles, squeezed as hard as I could, grabbed my other hand, grabbed the back of his shirt, pulled it over his head, As soon as he let go, I let the other hand go, and I just uppercutted him in the fucking chin.
Oh.
Ow. I said, now go sit down. And he's like, I'm giving you a warning.
Okay,
And he just charged at me, punched me in the face. My glasses fell off, he stepped on them. I said, okay, I warned you. I ran over, I grabbed him by his fucking underwear, I pulled it up as hard as I could. And I actually pulled it over his head, because they were fucking tighty whities. And as soon as they were over his head, I started just banging his head off the wall. And then everyone was saying, oh, Frank lost because people started recording it as soon as he attacked me. He's like, yeah, he had me in a headlock, but did you record everything after that? They're like, no, the gym teacher told us to stop. I'm like, yeah. That all he did was put me in a fucking headlock and cheap shot me. Like, all he did was he walked up to me, he cheap shotted me in the side of the head. Because if you hit someone in the side of the head hard enough, you can knock their lights out. You can knock them out. As soon as he hit me there, I swung my head back, cracked my chin. I said, my fucking grandmother hits harder. And he put me in a headlock. I'm like, is this all you got? I'm like, damn. He's like, and when he put me in a headlock, he knows I'm right-handed. He had my right hand locked in on the headlock. I was trying to pull his arm away with my left arm, but my left arm's weaker. So I couldn't. I said, oh, fuck it. I just reached up, grabbed him by the nuts. As soon as he let go, I took my other arm, and like I said, pulled it over his shirt like a hockey fight. And I just punched him in the chin as hard as I could. Uppercut. It's not hard. I only tend to fight in self-defense. But if you piss me off enough, and I mean enough, I will attack somebody. But it takes a lot to provoke me. Like, I remember the first time I snapped in high school. My stupid friend that I thought was my friend said, hey, come over here. I'm like, oh, okay. So I walked over to his desk, and he punched me in my nuts, just for no reason. I bent over, grabbed my nuts, because I was in pain. I just fucking, like, something snapped. Like, everything went black. That's all I remember. And I just remember leaning back, punching him in the face as hard as I could. And my friend was pulling me off of him. Because my friend knows my anger, and he pulled me off of him. He stood up, he's like, do you want to go? And his nose just started pouring blood. Like, it wasn't dripping, it was pouring. Like a fucking faucet.
That's how you learn a prank.
Like, I don't care how big someone is, or... Like, people say short people can't fight. Really? Bruce Lee was short. Jet Li. Jackie Chan. All short people. Only about 5 foot something. But they're short.
How tall was Kimbo's? How tall was Kimbo Slice?
I honestly don't know. But I know Bruce Lee was like a 5'6", 5'7". But he was ripped and, like, little fact about Bruce Lee, he had to slow down in movies because the cameras couldn't capture how fast he was moving.
Jesus Christ.
And I remember in one scene, he walked up to his buddy he was recording with, he just slapped him on the shoulder like, good job, bud. He dislocated his shoulder. And they asked him, he's like, why did you do that? He's like, what do you mean? I only tapped him. Like, his one finger punch, people make fun of it, but he could fucking kill somebody with that. If you hit someone hard enough in the heart, you can kill them. They say if you punch someone in the chest, or you get shot by a beanbag from a shotgun in your chest, if it's in between heartbeats, it can stop your heart from the sudden force of trauma. And Bruce Lee took out entire schools. Like, I'm sure you've seen videos where that was actual fights. Like, an entire school of karate or kung fu, whatever the fuck that shit's called over there, attacked him all at once. Weapons, too. And none of them hurt him at all. He fought masters. In that movie, The Return of the Dragon with Chuck Norris, People say that may be a movie, but that fight scene was not staged. They were going to go off of whoever won that fight and continue the movie from there on out. At first, they were just play fighting, but then they started getting mad, and they actually started fighting each other. And he beat Chuck Norris's ass, so to speak. Chuck maybe got in a few good roundhouse kicks, that's about it. The thing is with Chuck,
oh, I'm in a session with Micgelo.
He's a good fighter, but Bruce Lee, he knows pressure points. Like, he was hitting him in so many places. Like, he was, like, cramping up his legs. Just, like, you can literally, if you lift up your shoulder and you smack yourself in the elbow hard enough, you can make yourself shit yourself.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, like, my friend, I didn't believe my friend. He's like, I can make you shit yourself. I'm like, no, you can't. And he knew pressure points. I didn't believe him. And I till this day, I say this like some black magic shit. He lifted my elbow, like my shoulder, like, he lifted up my arm. He, like, karate chopped my armpit as hard as he could. I was like, okay, what's that gonna do? He's like, give it a minute. No joke. I did not have to poop at all. I was running to the bathroom, and I was crapping my guts out. I said, I don't believe you. He's like, do you want to sweat? I'm like, not really. And it was like a pressure point. I think it was the leg. Yes, the leg. You basically tap up the leg and then you smack the middle of it as hard as you can. Like tap, 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 and hard hit on both legs. And from my legs shaking, my entire body started to sweat. I was dripping in sweat. And he's like, I can actually make your, what's the word, like, incapacitated. Like, I couldn't do anything. I said, really? There's a pressure point on, you know, the Vulcan finger death pinch from Star Trek?
Yeah.
He actually, that's a real thing. It's basically the same thing that they use in the sleeper hold in wrestling matches. There's a vein in your neck that pumps blood. And if you pinch it, it cuts off blood flow and it can knock you out. He did that to me and it almost knocked me out. I started smacking him in the fucking face, telling him to let go. And I had to sit down because I was like fucking lightheaded. Like, and Bruce Lee mastered every single martial arts.
Jesus
He was
Christ.
Yeah, seriously, look it up. He was a master in all the martial arts. He invented his own style of working out. Like, he would hang upside down by his feet on like a long board. He would hang upside down with his feet and he would pull his entire body weight up. Basically, he was doing a sit-up upside down. And because Bruce Lee believed all the power comes from the core of the body, meaning the abs, the stomach area. Because when you punch, like in boxing, you know how they lean forward with their stomach and like they lean? All that energy is traveling, that was his theory, all your energy was traveling up to your arm and exiting. And he's right.
The team are going to work.
Like when you punch, like all the energy is going to the tip of your fists. Like, he was a very, very talented man. Like, no one could beat him in a fight. Like, I'll admit it, I'm a Bruce Lee fan. And they're like, oh, he's Asian. I'm like, and? Not every American is badass. Americans are good with weapons. I mean, the only American I can think of that's a good fighter, I don't know, Hulk Hogan. But a good, I guess, Chuck Norris, that's about it. Clint Eastwood was a good fighter. Rocky Balboa, Sylvester Stallone. But they all had one thing in common. They were boxers.
Nope.
boring. When I see 2 black people or 2 Asians get in the ring on MMA, I know shit's gonna go down. Because those Oriental fucks are crazy fast. You get 2 fat Americans in the ring, they're just gonna fucking fall on top of each other. And whoever fucking weighs the most is gonna fucking win. It's basically WWE at that point. Like, I'm not talking shit on America. I mean, we have some badass, like, I shouldn't have said that. We have Marines. Marines are good fighters. And I believe that they put Bruce Lee through a Marine, like, basic training, and it didn't even tire him out. Like, not even a bit. Not even basic training like the Army. Like, he just did it for fun. It didn't even, he said that's basically a warm-up. He's like, when does it start? Like, his entire life is about eating healthy, drinking lots of water. Like, I talk shit on Tom Brady because I don't like him because he's a Patriots guy, and I know that they cheat. They were confirmed on cheating so many times. But Tom Brady himself, you know he doesn't drink pop, right? He refuses to. I mean, if you look at Tom Brady and compare him to my quarterback, Big Ben drinks pop, he eats unhealthy a little bit. Basically, Tom Brady takes care of himself. And that really matters when it comes to, like, athleticism. Fighting or sports. What the hell beeped on my phone? No, it's text now. Did I get a text? No. No.
Ooh, I should prank call someplace.
I mean, it's me. Like, politics. Anything, really. I mean, if I know about it, I can talk about it. Like...
One thing I think is that everyone get away in their little thoughts about, like, their little thoughts about, oh, this person's terrible, oh, this person's the worst.
And that's what I don't like about politics, is that right there. They're judging, it's called mudslinging, it's been done for centuries. You know, like those ads when there's a presidential campaign, like, oh, do you want to vote for this person when they were confirmed doing it? It's just talking shit, basically. And it just shows your real character, that you have to talk shit to try and get votes. Why can't you just be honest? I mean, you know, I hate when people talk shit. It's just annoying. When someone talks shit, I tell them to shut the fuck up. Like, no one wants to hear that shit. No one wants to be around that negative shit.
I mean,
it's annoying.
Trubisky, though.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll admit, I was talking shit on him earlier a little bit, but to be honest, I was venting, but he does have a bad personality.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not perfect, but he treated me like shit. He treated James like shit. He treated Micgelo like shit, saying that he was better because he had more subscribers and more views, and Micgelo is a small channel trying to grow. That's just ignorant. Like, I don't like that. Not one bit. Like, if you treat me like shit, I hate to break it to you, I'm gonna treat you like shit. You know that you know that little rule they taught you in school? Treat others the way you want to be treated? The golden rule? So, I always took it as, oh. I even said to the teacher, I said, well, if he's being mean to me, doesn't that mean that he wants me to be mean to him? I literally broke the code. Think about it.
I admit.
Treat others the way you want to be treated. So, if someone treats you like shit, that means they want to be treated like shit. So that's how I do it. It's kind of like respect. You give respect. If, like, a customer walks in the store, walks up to me, oh, how are you today, sir or madam? You show respect. But if they start disrespecting you, when you give them respect, even though I'm working, I ask them politely to knock it off, basically. I'm like, can you speak to me in a better tone, sir? Like, let's say it's at
Like,
work.
you fat ass. Okay, we get it.
Like, at work, you have to respect them, or otherwise your ass is canned. But let me use another explanation. Let's say you're at Walmart and some fuck cuts you off in the lane, throws a can of beans at you. I mean, yeah, you're supposed to respect your elders, and you're supposed to respect everyone in general, but he just cut you off and literally threw a can of metal at you full of beans. I would tell him to go fucking shove his can up his ass.
And then he yells, "You got beat."
Like, the saying goes, you gotta earn respect to give it. That's how it works, basically. If I meet a random person on the street, like if I walk by someone, I say, "How are you?" And they say, "Oh, I'm good." You know, that's respect. "Hi, how are you?" "Go fuck yourself." "Well, fuck you too, bitch." That's
You
just,
sounded
that's
like
just how
Jeff
life.
there for a second.
That's just how life goes. Like, you gotta give respect to earn it. Like, you ain't getting that shit for free. It costs $0 to not be a dick.
I know that I can be like a dick sometimes, and I try to be like I
Oh,
can.
we all can. To me, PlayStation is just a way to relieve my stress from the real life. Video games are my...
Like, honestly, times helps me a lot. But, like, I also...
Video games are my world away from life. Just because I'm a gamer, how can I put it?
Like, I also do, though, like...
I like building lives in other games. It makes me feel accomplished.
Like, okay, so... Speaking of respect and all this, like, I was at a scout meetup one time. And,
Good.
and there's another kid, okay? I'm just gonna say this. So this one kid that like everybody picks on, his name is, I don't know, I guess his name will be Jonathan. And the other kid, his name will be, I don't know.
Tim.
Yeah. So Jonathan, you know, he's kind of like annoying kid. Really listens a lot. He jokes around a lot. And here, he like, he's that one that tries to make a joke out of everything. And like Jonathan, like he's being okay, and Tim was like being really mean to him, and he actually made Jonathan cry. And you know, I walk up to Jonathan, like, dude, what the heck happened? And he's like, not Jack, sorry, Tim was being like really rude to me, and like, I told him, you know, just ignore him, try to ignore him, tell an adult, okay? If he's got you messed up, try your best to ignore him, okay? And at the end of the meeting, I made an announcement. I said, okay, the amount of disrespect that goes on is just unbelievable. And give respect. In order to get respect, you have to give respect. If you want to be treated, it's literally in the Scout Oath law. You have to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, that stuff. You know? And I went on like a long spiel about like how it's not like you shouldn't be rude to people just because of the way they act or the way they are. And they can't change that. You know?
We had the same situation. We had Cub Scouts that came to our troop, and some of the older scouts like me, I'm not saying I did, but they were older like me. They were making fun of them because they were all happy and excited and, you know, just loud. And
I don't understand.
And during the thing, I stood up and I said, I'm not an Eagle Scout like the rest of you. I'm here because it's fun, and I like scouting. It's not about making rank or badges. It's about having fun and earning a badge along the way while doing so. And I said, even though you're an Eagle Scout, I would take it away from you right away for one thing. He goes, what's that? I said, simple. I said, you broke the oath. I said, a scout is friendly. And he just looked at me. I said, you never make fun of another scout, let alone someone in general. I said, he is a brand new scout. I said, you are an eagle. You are to represent what an eagle is supposed to be. You failed. I said, I would be a better Eagle Scout than you. He's like, yeah, but you didn't put in the work. I said, yes, I did. I just didn't have mommy and daddy fill out all the paperwork. I didn't have mommy and daddy take me everywhere to get this badge, that badge, do this, do that. Have mommy and daddy do this, buy this for volunteering. I didn't have my parents do that because my parents actually work for a living unlike yours. I said, you are a failure as a scout and as an eagle. I said, if you keep it up, I will go to the board of scouting and I will petition to have you removed from scout. Is that clear? And my scoutmaster looked at me and I told him what happened. He goes, I'm with Frank. You either stop it, all of you, or I will have all your eagle ranks removed. I said, even though 7 of you are eagles, and I'm only a life scout, that doesn't mean shit. I said, you don't represent what the scouts were built on. So you just come here because mommy and daddy wanted to say, oh, my son's an Eagle Scout, what about yours? You know what I say? I don't say, I was an Eagle Scout. I will always say, I am a scout.
I saw that. Like, okay, so I went to an Eagle Scout thing, Eagle Scout Court of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually really cool. But, like, I went to one. You know, kids celebrating. He was just a kid, you know? He deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I saw her saying, I won't say that I will say that I always Eagle Scout. Just like,
I mean, people ask me, oh, you're an eagle? I said, no, I'm a life scout, but I consider myself an eagle. They're like, why is that? I said, even though I didn't earn the rank of eagle, I didn't have a ceremony, I didn't earn all the required badges, but I got shotgun, archery, fishing, and so on, and clay and all that. I said, I got a couple badges, but I didn't get all the required ones that are required by the, you know, the book standard to be an eagle. The original founder of the Eagle Scouts said, and he even said, he goes, badges are just an award. A real Eagle Scout comes from the heart. I loved volunteering for the Scouts. I loved picking up trash. I loved paving that church's parking lot for free. It's fun. It's nice to help people. I love that. I mean, I could technically be a, Venture Scout, because, but what's the point? I'm turning 21 this year. But they're actually having it to be, not that, 18 as well. Ooh, a chest hair. But if I could, my friends are always like, I don't want to go to summer camp this year. I said, dude, go. He's like, why? I said, look, don't you, I said, do you remember the time at summer camp when we were just sitting around the fire talking about music and stuff? He said, yeah. And I said, and you and me, I brought you to the shotgun class, and I let the teacher let you shoot a couple rounds. He's like, yeah. I said, don't you miss that? It's like, I actually do. I said, dude, I'm 20 years old working at Walmart. I said, I'd give anything to go back to camp for a week. I miss fishing. I miss sitting around the bonfire. The only thing I don't miss was taking the fucking swimming test. Because I can't swim. I mean, the only thing I'll admit, I can only get red and white. I can never get blue. I can never. I can swim if I have to, but I always sink. I don't know why. I think it's because my lungs suck and I lose energy, and I don't know. I can swim, but I'm not a good swimmer. But point being, I miss singing in the lunch halls. I miss all the good meal. I liked waking up in the morning, setting the tables, waiting on it.
Did you ever have the announcement song?
Announcements, announcements, announcements. Of course I remember that. God. God damn it, I miss Scouts.
Hey there. Slept in here last night.
I miss Scouts so goddamn much.
Look, I'm not sure whether I can get Fortnite or not. Maybe sometime later, but right now I'm trying to figure out.
If you can't, man, it's cool. We can just play GTA together, you know? We already have games we both have, you know? Yeah. Just trying to figure out don't stress, man, you know? It's just a game. You get it, you get it, you don't, you don't. That's the way I see it. Announcements, announcements, announcements. God, I miss that song. Even some of the goofy songs we sang. It was all in good fun. Brings back memories. I think I invited him. I saw him get on.
I said I guess I'm going for the night. It's about 4.
For some reason I didn't get you one back from before. Micgelo, you got my message, right?
Alrighty, Micgelo.
It's like 4 in the morning.
Micgelo, what?